Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's CISN Football Pregame Show, Week 6 edition. We are already in Week 6 here in Central Iowa. We got a packed show ahead of us, as always. We got highlights from last week's games. We got top 10 rankings. We got coach interviews and much, much more. All that and more coming up here on the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. Our first highlights of the week, Ankeny and Des Moines Roosevelt. J.J. Cole passed short to Evan Erlmeyer. Erlmeyer, just a sophomore for Ankeny. He scores the early touchdown. He'll be one to watch the next couple seasons for the Hawks. Later in the first quarter, Jason Williams runs over a defender and bumps into the end zone. Touchdown, Ankeny, 14-0 lead early. And then Ankeny kept pouring it on. Here's a catch and run by Evan Erlmeyer. Gets a great block upfield. Looks like he has a chance to break a couple more. Roosevelt's able to get around him and bring him down. Williams would score a couple plays later, give Ankeny a 21-0 lead. Later, Cole jukes back, makes a move, and JJ reaches for the goal line. The Iowa State recruit off to a hot start in this one. Ankeny on top, 28-0. Nice move there at the end of it. 28-0, 13 seconds to go in the second quarter. Dominic Wade throws a beautiful ball to Zion Spellman into the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Des Moines Roosevelt just before the half. Great momentum booster for the Rough Riders. Then later in the third quarter, how about this play? Peter Vandedeff. Great move, jumps to the outside, 28-13. Roosevelt, or 28-12, Roosevelt trying to sneak back into this ball game. They get a stop. Ankeny would punt it back away. All momentum's on Roosevelt's side, and Peter Vandedeff touches the ball, and Ankeny hops back on top of it, killing the momentum for the Rough Riders. Huge mistake. Jacob Kruger and company were the one that hopped back on top of it. Then later, Jason Williams gets the carry, runs it up the middle, and scores. Roosevelt would score one more time, but could not quite put together a comeback. Ankeny hangs on and defeats Roosevelt, 35-18. Ankeny Centennial and Sioux City East. The Black Knights undefeated coming into this ball game. It's a Game of the Year candidate, that's for sure. Cole Ritchie, touchdown pass to Kellen Jacobson into the end zone. The big tight end gets the big play. Then later, a high kick here still early in the first. That one's fumbled. Sioux City East hops on top of it. They'd score 2 plays later. It's 13-0 early. Trenton Smith to his top man, Elijah Porter. Makes a couple guys miss, and Porter uses his speed to score. Make it 13-7 against Sioux City East. Then later, in the second quarter, 13-7, Elijah Porter again gets it to the outside, busts through a tackler and scores. Ankeny Centennial would take the lead, 14-13. Midway through the third, Ritchie, another screenplay, back to the other side to Brecken Shawshaw. And Shawshaw goes all the way and scores, make it a Sioux City East 21-14 lead. Later, Trenton Smith checks down to Max Snyder. Snyder breaks the tackle, dives for the goal line, and scores it. We're not at 21 apiece. A wild game at Ankeny Stadium in the rain. A little bit later, early in the fourth quarter, Ritchie back to throw, checks back down to his tight end, Shawshaw, and Shawshaw makes a couple guys move, and Shawshaw's putting on a show. Touchdown, Sioux City East, 21-28. Black Raiders on top. How about this play? Possibly play of the year. Trenton Smith breaks a tackle, lobs one downfield to Chase Shuddy, and makes a heck of a grab before he's tackled down at the 45-yard line. And then the very next play, Elijah Porter, handoff. Great blocking by the Chase Shuddy upfield, and Elijah Porter scores. They're tied at 28 apiece. Centennial would get the ball back and take it all the way down to the final minute. Inside the 5-yard line, Cale Weiner with 1 minute to go kicks it through the uprights. Centennial takes a 31-28 lead. Then on the ensuing drive, Sioux City East, Cole Ritchie throws down, broken up. Connor Welsh makes the play. Sioux City East drops to their first loss of the season. Centennial moves to 3-2. West Des Moines Valley taking on Marshalltown. Midway through the first quarter, Michael Provenza checks down short to Bryce Anderson. Number 88 scoots into the end zone, gives Valley a quick 7-0 lead over Marshalltown. Then a little bit later, midway through the second, a heck of a play. This will be one that'll go on our top 5 at the end of the year, possibly. This kick is blocked and scooped up by Isaiah Pinks. Gage Olson was the one that blocked it. Pinks gets a lucky bounce on it and scores it. A blocked field goal turned into a touchdown gives Valley the 14-0 lead. Early in the third quarter, Valley on top 14-0. Darius Mason, the big running back, moving his way to the left side of the field. Not enough speed to get in the end zone, but he gets down to the 5-yard line. He would score the very next play to give Valley a 21-0 lead. Mason up the middle, too hard to tackle. 21-0, Valley on top of Marshalltown. Marshalltown trying to get stuff going, just couldn't quite get it. How about this play? Dalen Houston, first down pass to Corey Smith, but he gets leveled by Surreal Fountain. How about that hit back over the middle? Heck of a play by Fountain and his defense, keeping Marshalltown on their toes. Marshalltown with another chance, 21-0, 4:20 remaining here in the third quarter. This is a run up the middle, nice bouncing by Tate Riang, and it's a touchdown for the Bobcats. 21-7, but that's about as close as they would get as Michael Provenza with a 28-7 lead, 9:47 to go in the fourth. Provenza, a QB draw, runs it up the middle, great blocking, untouched. Touchdown Valley, they would go on to win. 35-14 is your final score. Valley moves to 3-2 on the season. And those were our highlights from our 3 games this past week on the Central Iowa Sports Network. We're going to take a break and we'll be back for your top 10 rankings, coach interviews, and much more. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the whole difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the car guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I am Blake Walker. We got coach interviews up next for our 3 games this weekend. We're going to send you to those interviews right now.
Here on the pregame show with Valley head coach Gary Swenson. Coach, are we to the point where the team you have is the team that's on the field? Are we done with this whole warming up? Let's see who we have. I mean, we're getting to that late part of the season. Does your clock tick differently when we get this late in the year?
Well, I think we're getting there if we're not there already. I mean, it's pretty hard. after 7-8 weeks of practice to point to hoped improvement down the road, because down the road the season's over. As you know, high school football season goes quickly. Now, as we get into October, the month of October flies by because you just don't have as many regular season games scheduled. So I think what you got is what you got. The only variable for all teams would be injuries that maybe return or leave, more leaving probably than returning this time of year, that are going to change your performance on the field. But if you haven't coached up issues by now in practice, I'm not sure you're going to get them done. And we're all tied to our talent. Let's face it. I mean, we're all better coaches when we have the best players. And I think everybody has to settle into the realization of what they have year to year. We all kind of have the same routine and do the same things year to year, but the effects and the results are different based on the guys that are out on that field every Friday night.
You have some guys this year that new positions and then old names to the program. You've done this a couple of years. You know, every team is different. I always ask you that one, what makes the squad different? But what makes this squad different? What's resiliency about them? What's, what were those things you were coaching up?
Well, it starts with just basic fundamentals. I mean, if you mistake yourself out of games, those are things sometimes you can correct, whether it's just like last week. We meet on Sundays. So I was talking to our team about statistical areas that you could look at after a game without knowing the score and trying to predict who won based off those areas. And one was just number of plays, possession time, penalty yards, and turnovers. And against Marshalltown, we lost every one of those areas. And yet we won the game based on the fact that we finally created some big plays offensively, but we did not hold our end up defensively that night. It was really confusing to us because that wasn't how we thought the game would go. But I think the point I was trying to make to the team was playing complementary football, where both sides of the ball have to come to the table every Friday night. And we hadn't been doing that offensively. Now, all of a sudden, we get this big night offensively, and then we can't get off the field on defense. So that's the frustrating thing about high school football. You try to then you add in the kicking game, you try to put those components together. And if you ask me what is your strength, what's your weakness, right now on a given Friday night, the answer might change. So that's one of the frustrating things about our team this year is we still haven't settled into what we are on a given Friday night, whether irrespective of the opponent. And hopefully we'll find that at some point.
Well, it's, I would imagine one of those things that keeps you, I would say young or up at night, but you just have to know that that's par for the course.
Yeah.
I'm going to mix my sports metaphors, I guess.
Well, it's high school football.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we all love about it. And one of the things that's the most frustrating. I think you hope that your team at some point, you'll see them, the old light bulb come on type term, where they realize, oh, okay, that's what we're working toward. And then that's when you really feel good about what you've done as a coach and you feel happy for your team.
Tonight, what are the Ankeny fans going to see? They're going to see a Michael Provenza. They're going to see a Mason. They're going to see some guys that you're trying to keep them on the field as you talk. Let's go back to your initial point of time of possession. What are you going to see in your offense that you want to have people see?
Well, we'd like to have a balance. And we'd like to be efficient and execute. Okay, so one of the things Ankeny does is they try and take you out of that execution with their defense. And their alignments are unconventional, but the results they're just trying to do what all of us do defensively, and that's be sound. get the proper run fits out of your players, and then be able to defend on the back end. And they do some of that with just talent. They've got some very good players, and their season has been a little bit up and down. I'm not sure what their expectations were. They've got some of the best players in the state, so I know they intended and expected to have a good year, and they have had. But I don't know that they've reached that level of consistency that they're hoping for either. So we certainly hope things don't explode tonight for them, because I think they have the capabilities of really running a lot of points up on the scoreboard and doing a good job defensively. I think you'll see us try to play the game and somewhat shorten the game. If we give, JJ enough shots, he's gonna hurt you. So we've got to be efficient offensively, and then hope that we can hang on defensively.
Yeah, keep their offense off the field. That's your defense of sorts, and I think that's a lot of squads have tried to do. Yeah. Okay. And those continual cliches of good ball control, keep the turnovers down, the penalties down, all the things you've mentioned.
Sure.
Yeah.
They those things win and lose games for you, and some of them are hard to coach. I think some of it goes with the discipline in your program and being able to stay focused for 4 quarters and not lose hope when you get behind, and not get too full of yourself when you get ahead, and just, like they say, play each play. Try to string them together, and hopefully you can, if you have the ball and you need to drive the football, hopefully you can do it without mistaking yourself out of a drive.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you so much. That's Gary Swenson, head coach of the Valley Tigers. The pregame show continues right after this here on CISN. Back here on the pregame show, Rick Nelson, head coach of the Ankeny Hawks. Coach, back home, homecoming. How do you keep the guys focused on the job at hand?
It's not easy. Lots of things. We had Under the Lights. We had JV game. We had kids miss JV game because they went to Under the Lights, which I think is bizarre. We've had Powder Puff. And then I think they've had dress-up day all week, different kind of dress-up days. So it's a challenge, but our kids, we had a good practice yesterday. Tuesday we could have done a little better, but yesterday we had a really good practice. So I was glad for that. It seems like our kids are starting to get focused and ready to go, because Valley's a good football team.
So you just hope on Friday they come dressed in the right uniform, and they come dressed as a football player, play as a football team day?
Yeah. Not like a wizard or a warlock or whatever that is, but we can be really good. We have a ton of ability. We just haven't played up to our ability in all quarters of some of the games.
You could probably say the same thing about Valley, that maybe they haven't played up to their ability. Does that concern you at all, that they, you look at talent on tape and go, let's just hope it's not us they pop off on?
No one's really scored points on them on defense, so their defense has played good all year. Southeast Polk scored 24, and I don't know, I think Urbandale scored 10. And then other than that, I think maybe they've given up a touchdown in each of the games. So I can't remember what Marshalltown.
I think they gave up 10. 10. And it was late.
So they have a really good defense. Their offense, they have a big back. They always have big kids. Their quarterback last year was really good. He was. We just had a heck of a time tackling that kid. They lost that good tight end who was just unbelievable, the Reardon kid. So yeah, I think Valley's played really well actually. They lost a lot of good kids from their team last year, and they have a tough schedule too. I mean, it's just to see some of the numbers that teams are putting up, and Valley's playing us, Valley's playing Dowling, Valley's playing Southeast Polk, Valley. Well, I mean, if you get a win, that's great, but you're not going to have big numbers on those football teams. I mean, you're not going to throw up a bunch of stats.
Well, and that could be for fans who look at stats, or announcers who look at stats and go, this team might not be that good, but you're clearly, they have your attention.
Oh, yeah. We might have played Valley every year since I've been here, and sometimes I think we played them at least twice. So we've probably played them close to 10 times, and we've beat them once. So they have more than our attention. Yeah. It's not a rival game because they beat us.
You've already used that one this year, Coach.
I know, but I'm going to use it again.
That's good. Your team, you talk about practice. Guys' attention and focus you mentioned on a distracting week. How is it that you hope that they are preparing, whether they're looking at the video clips that you give them or the talking points or the game plan? How do you hope that they just progress and understand they have a commitment to this game as well?
Well, I mean, we have good kids, but they're 16, 17, 18-year-olds, so you don't know what they're going to do. Our kids, as far as character and being class acts, they're really good kids. It's just sometimes they don't quite understand that this is a very short period of their life, and someday they'll figure out how important these 9 games were as they get a little older. They don't get it yet, but they will sometime. It'll click. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to, as you look back at our games, our first 3 games, we played hot and cold. I thought we played really good in the first probably 20 minutes of the Roosevelt game, and kind of a weird misty night. I thought we played really well. And against Southeast Polk, our kids played 4 quarters. And I'm hoping that they see that. They know we have the ability. They know we have a good football team. But it's hard to turn it on, when it's in the second quarter. So, now I'm really going to play. So most of the games are won anyway in the winter, in the weight room, in the times that you put in outside of football, outside of the football season. And our kids did prepare. We just have a big challenge, and so does Valley. I mean, Valley has a tough challenge playing us.
Well, and they have to compete. Coach Swenson, JJ clearly has his attention, as most coaches all say the same thing. But he was complimentary about, your backs and your receivers and the JMO, and everybody has to kind of prepare for those things. But that defense, let's talk about the defense for a moment. As you still try to figure out the nuances of this new one, and teams figure out, you're just trying to stop the ball, just looks a little different. Progression-wise and what the guys are doing and understanding responsibilities, are they where you want them to be at this point in the season?
No, we're probably about a year behind. So we still make quite a few mistakes on what we're doing, but it's so different from not a conventional defense, but it's just a different defense totally than anything our kids have run. Now, if they'd have ran it in 8th grade and 9th grade and 10th grade, they would just be lights out. But we started it in June. So, we still have some growing pains. I still think by week 9, our kids are going to be getting a lot better at it. They've already improved. Mm-hmm. But now teams have seen it, so they kind of say, okay, well, we're going to throw the quick game at you. Or all we're going to do is run, a zone play. So they've kind of, each team kind of sees what's successful against it, and then that's what they execute. So we have to keep growing in it, and our kids will. They're having fun in it. It's a fun defense. But, we can get better, and I know we will. Our defensive guys are working hard at it. And the kids are focused, and we watch a lot of film of just us. What can we just do a little bit better? When you got to get across that offensive tackle's face, here's what you got to do. And so we're close, and but we're not quite there. We won't get to perfection, but hopefully we can, just improve each week.
That's all you can do, and have fun at the same time.
That's right.
And see if they hopefully don't come dressed as wizards and warlocks.
That's right.
All right, that's head coach Rick Nelson. The pregame show continues right after this on CISM.
Once again, we want to take a chance to thank all of the coaches that had a chance to sit down with us this week. We wish them all the best of luck tonight in their Friday night football endeavors. We're going to take a break, and we will be back to wrap up with our top 10 rankings and our games to watch. You are watching the CISN Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the CIML Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Let's jump right into the top 10 rankings that were released just this week by the Des Moines Register. Coming in at number 1, Pleasant Valley. The Spartans remain number 1 out there on the eastern side of Iowa. I don't see that changing, but they do have a tough contest in 2 weeks against Iowa City High we'll be keeping an eye on. Dowling Catholic, number 2, continues to cruise. They've pitched 2 straight shutouts over Lincoln, Council Bluffs, Lincoln, and Iowa City High. Ankeny, number 3, taking care of business as usual against Des Moines Roosevelt. Southeast Polk, their schedule gets a little tricky. They get Linn-Mar this week and then Prairie down the road. Cedar Rapids Kennedy stays at number 5, pretty much the same throughout the number 5 position. Urbandale sitting in number 6, a sneaky good team. Cedar Rapids Prairie, number 7, they get a tough test against Southeast Polk in a couple weeks. Ankeny Centennial, number 8. After that win against Sioux City East, they jump into the top 10. Sioux City East falls behind the Jaguars at number 9. And how about Davenport West? 5-0 for the first time since 1987. They are looking good, but their schedule becomes very tough. We'll see if the Falcons can hang on to it in the next couple weeks. Those are your top 10 in the Class 5A rankings, courtesy of our friends at the Des Moines Register. Now it's time to take a look at the top 6 games we're looking at this week. Davenport West taking on Dubuque Senior. We just talked about the Falcons being 5-0. They will look to go to 6-0 against a Dubuque Senior team that just fell short last week. They are going to be a tough contest. It'll be one of those true games to see if Davenport West is legit. If not, they have a couple more big ones against Cedar Rapids Kennedy and Iowa City High as the season progresses. One game here on CISN, Ankeny taking on Valley. The Tigers, not quite the team that we've seen in previous years, but they beat Ankeny last year in the regular season, 38-35, in a thriller. Can they do it again at Ankeny Stadium? The Hawks look for a challenge against the Valley Tigers. Ankeny Centennial is taking on Urbandale. The Jaguars coming off a big win against Sioux City East. Urbandale, a little inconsistent, but could get a big win. Ankeny Centennial, some people think they could go undefeated the rest of the season and finish the season 7-2. we'll have to see how that one shapes out. Another one here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Dowling taking on Johnston. You heard from Coach Wilson talking about the defense of Johnston. Can Dowling get over that hump? Can Dowling pitch another shutout? They've pitched 2 straight so far. Dowling and company look to move to 6-1 on the 5-1 on the season. Another one of our final games that we're doing here on CISN tonight, Waukee, their homecoming against Sioux City North. The Stars come down from the Sioux City area to take on a 1-4 Waukee team looking to get in rhythm and grab their second win of the season. And then a sneaky good game. How about Des Moines North? 4-1 on the season, trying to move to 5-1 on the season. Des Moines North could get a 5-1 Ankeny and a 5-1 Des Moines North next week. Roosevelt always a tough out. And with Aaron Gonkarian, the number 1 running back in Class 5A for Des Moines North, the Polar Bears will be a tough out. And that will wrap it up for us here on the CISM Football Pregame Show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to send it to Ankeny Stadium, where Paul Yeager has the call for the Valley Tigers and the Ankeny Hawks. Paul?
School football as fall comes in full force tonight. The skies are clear, and we have homecoming 2022 here at Ankeny Stadium as 3-2 Valley takes on 4-1 the Ankeny Hawks here at Ankeny Stadium. Good evening, everybody, wherever you may be around the world watching us tonight. I'm Paul Yeager, along with Tim Halber. Jeff Brooks will be along with us in a little bit. Tonight, Tim, 2 teams trying to get it all together on both sides of the ball at the same time. You talk about Valley. They're still trying to figure out consistency on defense, but it was their defense that let them down a little bit last week after being so good early on.
Yes, they're still a very good defensive group. I think that's where their strength is. You know, their defensive line and their linebackers. They're a hard team to score on because they kept all the games very close, so I still think that they're going to have that's the one that the Ankeny Hawks have to get past tonight.
And the Hawks themselves, the last time they were here against Dowling, the offense kind of struggled. Coach Adam Booth says, hey, we have worked hard on the offense. It's been a lot more consistent. We've been better at getting the ball spread out. Tonight they have a big key against a good Valley D.
Yes, that Valley defense, they do a 3-man front, but their linebacker scrape, they kind of give you a 4-man front when they come out. So how they attack that, get past that and get isolation, see if they get their playmakers into the game early.
We'll continue to recap this game, get you ready for kickoff in just a moment. You're watching high school football on CISN. Thank you, Ankeny Band, for the national anthem as we get ready for kickoff here. Valley comes off a 35-14 win against Marshalltown last week at Valley Stadium. Tim, watching the game early on, it was all Valley, and Coach Swenson told us earlier this week, he's like, I don't know what happened in the second half, but we just sputtered. That's not a good thing for a coach to say.
No, I'm sure you said a lot more in practice the following week. Usually it happens that you get a lead like that, they start getting lax in their reads, they give them a little more cushion in there, and then what happens is the other team gets momentum, and then you're probably trying to play catch-up on defense even though you have the lead in the game.
Michael Provenza is the quarterback for Valley, kind of an uncharacteristic route. He's a lacrosse player, has a Division I offer. He has come and learned the quarterback position and adjusted. He's handing it off to a very familiar name for Valley football. It's another Mason. This time it's Darius, a little bigger than his brother Tyus, if you remember him. Pretty effective, great at running downhill. A good running attack can do a lot of things for a team. Tim, what can it do?
Well, he runs between the tackles. He's a sophomore, so the two skill positions, they got a first-year quarterback who's a senior who plays lacrosse. They got a sophomore running back, but he's listed at 220, 230, and he runs downhill, so someone has to get in front of him. But if he gets some seams in there, that's the quarterback's best friend.
Rushing has been a little more of a challenge for Valley. They are at 839 yards. But for Ankeny, it's even less than that. They're at 600 yards. They're still trying to figure out exactly how they use Jason Williams. They've used him out of the backfield a lot, but still, talk about a guy running between the tackles. That's really been Williams.
That's what he does, but he's not like last year at Cadolph where he used to run and then get that burst of speed. He's much more of a line reader than he picks his holes out there, so they're getting used to the timing down there, but they're spreading the ball around. They're more efficient, especially the last two games have been into 30-plus points per game, so I think the offense is starting to figure themselves out of what they can do in different situations.
One of the guys they've been finding is Evan Erlmeyer, another sophomore. He's 12 of 192 receiving, 3 of their touchdowns. Coach calls him a spark plug. He's a pretty fun player to watch.
He's got some speed out there, so they have to kind of find him. So the more that he pulls coverage away, that opens it up more for Patton out there to stretch the defense.
Well, JMO is one that Coach Swenson listed by name. They always know where number 2 is. They'll find out tonight how much he is involved in the offense. At practice earlier this week, it was a lot of JMO receiving.
Yes, I think they tried some jet sweeps before that have to try to run him on the outside, but he's much better going down there because he stretches those safeties out and opens up a lot of room down there underneath the coverage.
Key injury for Valley, Tristan Irvin out with the shoulder injury, not supposed to play tonight. That's going to have to put a lot of pressure on the guys up front with Fountain, Funk, Kennan, and Ray. But Ryan Kennan is really first player Coach talked about.
He's a big guy out there. You notice when you see him out there on the field, but he runs that. He collapses a lot. It's hard to get outside. He eats up usually 2 blockers, which creates those linebackers to scrape, where their linebackers are very athletic and they move around. So it's a very tough interior 8 of the defense.
I'm going to take just a tiny little bit of a peek. The Ankeny Hawks are making their way out to the field. We'll step away for a quick 1-minute break. We'll get the Hawks running out. We'll check in with Jeff Brooks and get you kickoff coming before 7 o'clock tonight here from Ankeny Stadium.
1,500 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Homecoming night 2022 here at Ankeny Stadium. The Ankeny Hawks are getting ready to make their way out of the tunnel. Valley Tigers have already come out. 66 degrees is our temperature right now. Our chance at precip is single digits, 6%. We'll count that as none. Wind, very light compared to what we had last week. It is out of that south-southeast at 7 miles an hour. It is going to get a little cooler as the night goes on. By the end of the game, it should be in the upper 50s, around 58, 59 degrees. We did have some pregame festivities. The homecoming court has been announced and introduced. The band has played the anthem. All we need is the home football team. They're wearing their maroon jerseys tonight, Tim. When you look at keys, what do you see as keys for, let's start with the visitors in Valley?
The key for the visitors is their offense. If the Ankeny defense can confuse Provenza, that he's an inexperienced quarterback, if he gets his reads, second reads, makes him run a little bit, they can control their running game, it could be a long night, could force them into turnovers. The keys for Ankeny High is that continue doing what they do. If they get their running game established, that they're continuing to do that.
As the Ankeny Hawks make their way onto the field, I'll let you continue your keys there, Tim.
Yeah, I think that get the offense going. Also, the defense is still learning that system. They're getting better and better at it. Coach said that they get better each game. So if that defense can figure out the keys to the more reacting versus thinking about it, it could be a very dominant effort by that defense.
Let's go down to the sideline for the third member of our broadcast crew tonight. That's Mr. Jeff Brooks. He's on the field. Wait a minute. I thought you had shorts on earlier. What happened?
You said the temperature was going to drop tonight.
Oh, you're quick at turning when I give you the weather report.
Plus, I'm coming down off a cold, so excuse my voice tonight. So, no, yeah, I'm going to say there is a 0% chance of rain, and if it does rain, I'm out. It's a beautiful night here for softball. Wind is nothing. Band sounds great. The stadium looks good. Lots of Ankeny fans. Valley's still kind of filling in. Hopefully they get some, and we're in for a good game tonight, I can tell.
Jeff, you've been at a couple of homecoming games before. It feels there's always this game kind of maybe plays second fiddle to the crosstown rivalry game, but seems like very few empty seats on the home side tonight.
Yeah, no, there's all kinds of fans that, this place is always full for football. Ankeny supports football. Doesn't matter if it's Centennial or Ankeny High School. But, yeah, homecoming brings in the extra crowd, and people just support their teams, so. Yeah, and it's a good night. It's a great night to be here, and why not? There's nothing on football. Judge might hit his 62nd tonight, but he tried for 5 days or 6 days before. Well, let's just wait another day. So, yeah, we'll see what's up.
We'll cut into it if he's up to bat. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
Jeff Brooks on our sideline tonight. We'll check in with him throughout the course of the game. But, Tim, as we get ready here, the Valley Tigers in their road white jerseys, they are a team that always has Ankeny's attention. These two teams haven't played a ton over the years. In fact, it's been a long time since Valley has actually played here at Ankeny Stadium. Last year, these two teams played. Ankeny won the second game, the one to advance in the playoffs, but lost the regular season game. Ankeny won the game in 2020, Valley in 18-11, and all the way back in 2008. So two good powers that just haven't played a lot.
No, and these are I would consider two of the blue bloods of the Des Moines Metro coming in here tonight. Valley the record is misleading to 3-2. They played a very tough schedule. They come in here, they've got a lot of athletes, they got a lot of size. Coach says, I don't think it's a rivalry because we've only beat them once in the last several years. So
you heard me call him out on that, right? You can't use that twice in a season on teams, but he is going to. Valley is going to kick off. They'll go from south to north, teeing it up. Is Preston Knipsu. He tees it up. It's 7 o'clock. It's time for high school football here in Iowa, and tonight's game is underway. High end-over-end kick. Erlmeyer and Patton watch it go 5 yards deep, and the Ankeny offense, led by J.J. Cole, will come out. Up front tonight for the Hawks, they've made some changes since they were last here. They've moved Kingston to the other side of the line, so they go Montevice, Kingston, Mayer. Now Lucas Beroth and Jack Derfler up front. And then J.J. Cole will hand off to either Jason Williams. He'll have Maddox Ward, Jamison Patton, Carson Sommerfeld in a lot of blocking situations, and Evan Erlmeyer will come out as both Ward and Erlmeyer come to the near side. J-Mo goes to the top. Let's play some football here tonight on Friday, September the 30, 2022. First play from scrimmage is going to be a toss to Williams off left tackle, and he'll get a couple of yards up near the 24 before he's tackled.
Valley starts in that familiar 3-down lineman, but they always bring up an outside linebacker, so it looks like a 4-man front. He generally does not put his hand in the dirt, so you still have your blocking schemes, but based on 4 men on the front.
Noska early on. Again, 2 receivers come to this near side of the formation, and before the whistle, a timeout by the officials, as there is a player hopping off the field, and that's Hunter Clark.
I don't know if it's a equipment issue or if he was just he gimped a little bit coming off the field. So for player safety, they may want to just replace him now at this time.
They bring in Isaiah Pinks to replace him here on that right side of the defensive part. First pass for the Hawks. They go Cole down the far sideline. JMO has it across midfield into Hawk territory where he's downed at about the 40-yard line. Big play for Ankeny.
Yeah, great. He got single coverage on the left-hand side there, and using that speed, he made one move and went right up the sideline there, and Cole put it right in his hands.
Gain of 32. Tackle for Valley made by Owen Schlopschool. I'm sorry, that is Isaiah Pinks, the new man into that lineup for Valley. Williams gets the call. They go right underneath off left guard, and a couple of yards for Williams up near the 42.
Mason Ray in there, the 6-foot senior, playing kind of like a right outside linebacker position on that defense. Came in there crashing in, got him around the legs, kept the gain to only 2 yards.
Fountain, Funk, Keenan, and Ray up front for Valley. Handoff Williams. He goes off right tackle and meets a number of players. Chase Hutchinson, one of the Tigers there, as was Theron Castle. Helmet comes off of Joe Kingston, who was on the homecoming court tonight. So he's had a busy last half hour.
Okay, third down. That's what Valley wants to do to this Ankeny Hawk offense, is give him a 3rd and long. Anytime you get over 4 yards, that's in the defense's advantage.
3rd and 5 for the Hawks. JMO goes in motion to the near side. Cole throws, caught. Erlmeyer, high part of his stance, and he makes the tackle enough for a first down for the Ankeny Hawks. Move the chains. Tackle Andrew Price for Valley.
Erlmeyer, he's listed as 5'10". He got up like he was 6'4". He got it on his fingertips over his head. Good catch, good throw. First down for the Hawks.
9:29, clock moving. It's been all Ankeny on offense as they started at their own 20. They're now at the 27-yard line of Valley. Cole to throw, caught by Kruger, the tight end, inside the 25, and he's gang tackled there. Castle and Clark combine.
We see a lot of that where the tight end, lose that traditional tight end, they line up wide out from the formation, go up there, did a little hook pattern looking in. That's easy catch and throw and catch.
Just when you think you're not going to throw to your tight end, you do. Kruger puts his hand into the ground on the left side of the formation now. Williams, the sole running back. Cole looks to the left, throws JMO out of the break, breaks one tackle, spins around, and then help arrives for the Tigers, but Patton is able to hang on to the football as Isaiah Pinks, the lone tackler, or the lead tackler on that play. Let's watch it again.
He had a tackle, but good athletic move there by Patton. Broke free, gained some yards, or so now we got a 3rd and short.
I think if Pinks turns around and plays that ball as opposed to tackling JMO, that might be a different play. I don't know if that'll be there, if they'll adjust that as the game goes on. Play clock at 15. 3 receivers to the right. Cole throws, caught. Evan Erlmeyer fumbles. Officials are going to say he is down.
Right
Cole Sonnenberg, the stop for Valley.
Very similar look to that last pass play. He lines up here on the right, takes a cut in, doing a skinny post, as they call it, across the middle. Quick pass, and it's a first down.
Well, if you watch the replay there, Tim, what you saw is Patton cleared out the area. Erlmeyer was able to come underneath. First down, handoff. Williams up the gut and then dances a little to the left. Again, Castle and Sonnenberg in there for Valley.
We talked about that earlier on, is that the defense is always aware where Patton is, so wherever he goes, it's going to draw usually 2 defenders with him. It's going to create more lanes for Erlmeyer and also for Kruger.
2nd and 6, ball on the 9. The Hawks can still get a first down and not score a touchdown on this play. 3 receivers to the right, Ward, Erlmeyer, and Patton. Cole looks to the right. Throws it to the back of the end zone. Patton is there, just a little too tall, maybe. Patton is the only one that could get that. Incomplete.
Well, if it's not there, either throw it where he can catch it or throw it where it goes out of bounds. So it's a smart play by the quarterback. If it's not there, throw it away and then live for another down. So now they have a 3rd and 6 at the 9.
Andrew Price on coverage. And not a man-to-man defense as J-Mo there. You see at the top of the formation now. Guarded by a different guy on 3rd down. Cole's pocket ticks away. Cole runs it. Gets inside the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown! Ankeny Hawks! J.J. Cole, 9-yard score. Strikes first for the Hawks.
That bunch formation on the right side pulled the defense over, so when he dropped back, opened up the linebackers, went out to cover. He went and took it in. Made a good move there and took it in from 9 yards out.
I don't think that was the design play there. I just think that was great defensive coverage. Yeah, because Patton had stopped in the end zone and just let J.J. do the rest. On to attempt the extra point is... Extra point is good, by Keegan Warner. Hawks with the lead.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
J.J. Cole, 5 of 6 passing, 58 yards, caps it with a run of 9. Hawks strike first, 7-0. Warner's kick is short, taken at about the 15-yard line by Valley's Chase Hutchinson. Let's go down to the sideline. Jeff Brooks for our first report in game. 7-0 here, 6:53 first quarter.
Hey, yeah, that was a nice drive by Ankeny. Really, I think early on there, the run was setting up the pass, getting in that, winning those first downs. So it shortens that possession to, easy 3rd down conversions. They really capitalized that on that drive, whether it was running or passing. So winning those first downs is a great thing for Ankeny tonight. Let's see what Valley has in store.
Jeff, did that look like a designed run on that play or just Cole on a busted play?
Nah, busted play. I mean, he's always got that drop back. If it's open, he'll go, but I think it was an opportunity, so he took it.
Bryce Anderson goes in motion. Now another man goes in motion. Provenza keeps it right side, dances across one streaking tackler and gets across the 30. Big gain there on first down for Valley.
Something I didn't see in the film is that usually their tight end plays an H-back position. That'd be Bryce Anderson, so he would keep across the formation, came down as an inline tight end, creating a heavier formation over to the right, so creates a running lane. I'm sure the defense is keying on Mason out there to carry the ball.
Bentham, Booth, and Jackson up front for the Hawks on the defensive line. They're the 3 down linemen. It's a toss to Mason, right side, and man, he is a load. Trent Jacobs the tackle, but not before the Tigers get a first down on their second play.
It's a brave man to step in there for a 230-pound running back and tackle him in the legs. But it's a good open field tackle because if you don't make it, he'll stiff arm you and gain another 10 yards. So that's going to be the key of the night is can they tackle him on the first tackle.
1st and 10 from the 35. Under 6 to play, first quarter. Fake the jet sweep, go back underneath to Mason. And again, the tackler, Trent Jacobs. I covered Valley football for a number of years, and I watched Tyus Mason, his older brother, play. Tyus was the smaller, shiftier guy. You mentioned the height and weight, 6 foot 222, I think is what you said. He is a solid back.
Yes, he is.
Aiden Price comes to the near side of the formation. Now Anderson goes from top to bottom of that formation. Toss sweep again. This is Provenza improvising, throws it up in the air. It's caught across midfield. Coming down with it is number 3 on that play, Zay Robinson.
It looks like a zone blocking scheme. The line shifted to the left there to block as the quarterback rolled out. But creates a breakdown because there's a lot of running around going there. So he broke free, came on the sideline, and good read by Provenza to find the open receiver.
That had us all fooled on where it is. Empty house backfield for the Tigers. Provenza looks to the sideline, play clock at 10.
No down lineman for the defense.
Provenza snaps, pumps fakes for the screen, throws it, caught by Anderson. Sandvig makes that happen, but he had a lot of help from Aiden Price. And there is a down play. In fact, that's Anderson. He is slow to get up. Gets back up in a hurry.
He took a shot there. Good read there, that knowing where the tight end was, he's sliding out there and caught him and knocked him down for no gain. So trying to get the tight end involved here, seeing some different looks by the Valley offense, trying to get the quarterback moving to hit his receivers.
2nd and 10, 4:31 to play, second quarter. Ankeny went down and scored on their first possession. Valley moving the football on theirs. Provenza, a run all the way. He has a lot of room. Provenza changes gears and gets enough for a first down. Looks like a gain of almost 13 for the Tigers.
The game plan seems to be that, we haven't seen Mason carry the ball a lot. They let the quarterback carry, make the defense more often so they aren't keying on the tailback. But there's been 2 really good running lanes there for Provenza to pick up big yardage.
There were 4 white jerseys and 1 Hawk jersey there when that play moved to the left. It looked like maybe Valley saw something unbalanced or just maybe someone missed an assignment on that play, but that was a lot of linebackers and corners. Provenza to throw it again into traffic, caught at the 30. Kaiser there makes the tackle of Bryce Anderson.
Anderson's a great target. He's a 6'6", 240-pound tight end there, so he did a little hook route, look-in route there. Don't need to go far downfield on the first down there. Interesting, they had Mason lined up wide here on the left. I wonder if something they may go to later on.
Mason now back in the backfield. There's an overload to the right side of the formation. They go with a quick pass. Back out to Anderson. He sidesteps one, gets to the 10, inside the 5-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by Cale Halstead. Huge pickup for the Tigers on that play. Watch this one again. They play action. Anderson just right out, a simple out. And that's 10, 15, almost 20 yards after the catch. Pickup of 24.
Hendricks Nimley good on the block there to push the corner out to create a lane for Anderson to cut up and pick up major yards.
1st and goal from the 6 for Valley. Anderson, 2 men in motion. They're going to have to get Price and Anderson. Now they go trips to the right. They're going to toss it to Mason, and he's blown up first by Sandvig, and then coming through is Nelson. And also, that's 57, so that'd be Ryan Mayer playing some defensive tackle.
Yeah, Sandvig blew up the block there, knocked him back into the running back. So Sandvig's playing a very tough, very physical corner position out there. Has made some key tackles, so that was also a 3 to 4 yard loss. So brings up a longer second and goal.
From the 9, Mason to the right side, right hip of Provenza. 2 bunched receivers to the right side. Provenza, play action, rolls back out to the near side. Has time. Jackson flushes him. Provenza rolls, and he pulls a J.J. Cole and counters with his own 9-yard touchdown score. And the Tigers are a point after from tying it up.
Yeah, left Diego Jackson out there in Island trying to catch him. Provenza's got some really good wheels out there. He can cuts really quick. That's he's a Division I athlete, so he's out there. He's feeling more comfortable playing quarterback, and the thing is, the defense needs to make him feel uncomfortable, or it's going to be a shootout.
On to attempt the extra point is Rico Alvarenga Severan. The kick is up, and it is good. We're tied at 7 here from Ankeny Stadium.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Almost identical drives for the Hawks and Tigers in their opening possession, as it's going to be possession number 2. Coming up to get the football is Erlmeyer. It goes off his fingers at the 5. Puts his foot in the ground, and then he is going to be lit up. Gets to about the 13 and no further. Jeff Brooks is on that far sideline. Jeff, good drive by the Tigers. What'd you see?
Yeah, how about that? Matching quarterback runs for 9 yards for touchdowns. That was a good drive by Valley. Presenza has some wheels. I don't know that Ankeny was expecting him to be that fast. He's quick, and he's decisive, and he's getting there, so they better mix some stuff up on defense. Ankeny gets another chance here on offense. See if Valley has solved a couple of things on their defensive end to slow them down a little bit.
Valley is 4 of 4 passing for 46 yards. Provenza 3 carries for 26, including the 9-yard score to even this thing up. 2:02 to play, second possession of the game for Ankeny. Let's see, that's Williams gets the handoff from Cole, who gets up maybe to the 15 for a hard 1.5-yard gain.
If they designed to have to run the ball there with Williams tonight, you have to stay with it. It doesn't matter how many yards you gain, it's like how many carries you get, so to keep the defense honest.
2nd and 8 from the 15. Cole looks near side. Defense makes no changes. Still 3 receivers to the top of the formation. Williams is in the backfield. Cole 2-step drop, waiting. Houdini out of the backfield. He's up towards the 20-yard line, gets maybe to the 21. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll say 2 to go.
Good blocking on the right side there to hold him, keep the pocket as long as he could. Nothing broke open. The defensive backs for Valley did a good job of blanking the receivers. Nothing was there for Cole to take a shot.
Valley only has 1 down lineman right now across from Mayer. Now a couple go down and do a three-point. J-Mo in motion. They go Williams after it clears it out, and Williams is going to be close, and he does get the first down. Another 3rd down pickup for Ankeny.
Yeah, good blocking by that line in there. Creating just enough of a hole for Williams, who does pick his holes very well, and getting enough for the first down, new set of downs.
Patton comes to the near side, and again, that trips formation just spread out. Play clock at 10. 18 seconds to play first quarter. Cole, with time, throws to Maddox Ward, in and out of his hands, incomplete. He had great coverage there. Chase Hutchinson was on him like a blanket.
They're seeing something out there because Patton here, he's the widest man out on the left-hand side, so that the next man in the slot running of the ladder, or they call it the hash marks there, that's been open several times here to Cole's right. Looks like they're setting up for a pump and go.
Now you could call it trips. The bunch to the near side. Cole with time throws it to the out man. That's Erlmeyer
And then he's lassoed at about the 25, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter. Andrew Price, the tackle. We had a great first quarter. We're tied at 7. This is high school football on CISN from Ankeny Stadium.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are.
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Beautiful night for high school football here in Ankeny on the north side of town. The Valley student section made their way over. Looks like maybe a couple in the construction orange, so we can at least see them if we lose power here at some point. Paul Yeager, Tim Halber, Jeff Brooks, and the CISN Ankeny crew with you tonight. No score goes unanswered in this game. Ankeny scored on their first drive. Valley countered. This is only the second possession of the game for Ankeny. It starts the first play of the second quarter. Down deep, Patton has the man beat, and it goes off his hands. Incomplete, and he was covered there. Let's see, that was Supple. And let's watch this again. This was a pattern they worked on a lot in practice on Tuesday when I was there, trying to get Patton and Cole to connect on that longer route. This one looked like it was right there. The only one who's going to catch that is Patton.
Right, he's running out. You have the DB on the inside shoulder there, so he really gives himself some cushion with that in the sideline and just drop it over there on his shoulder. He's had him in the hands. There's a good route run. First third down, they have not converted tonight.
Reed Johnson to punt it away for Ankeny. High kick, gets a little bit of an extension, taken at the 35 for Valley. And now there's some room down that near sideline. It's going to have to be the punter make the tackle. When your punter is one of your defensive backs, that's what you can do. Huge return for Chase Hutchinson.
He has a good deep punt there, but he got past the first wave of two tacklers, and then the seam opened up. He kicked it out to the outside. So great field position here for Valley on their second possession of the game.
Johnson's kind of struggled to get it anything more than about 30 yards. It's almost like he outkicked the coverage right there. Good kick. Great return, and Valley in business at the 25-yard line of Ankeny. 11:42. Jeff will check in with you after this play just to kind of see what's happening down there on the sideline.
See if the defense makes adjustment, accounting for Provenza's running ability.
Provenza and Mason in the backfield. Provenza's going to run it. Now it's a reverse flip. Toss it to Price. He's on the near. Cuts it back in at the 10. The 5 gets by two Hawk defenders inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. Boy, Sandvig and Halstead both kind of got caught there, and they left something on the turf. Watch this replay. Sandvig pushes him out, and then the two Hawk defenders just kind of combined before the tackle made by Carson Booth from his defensive line spot. First and goal from the 2. Sorry, Jeff. Didn't expect a big play like that of 23 yards. Under center goes Provenza. Handoff Mason, and he walks into the end zone. 2-yard score. Valley takes the lead, 13-7.
Yeah, another big play. The running ability by Provenza created that reverse in there. The defense got caught up in the wash, not watching their assignments, and that's what happens, that you have to have all 11 know what their duties are on a given play.
7 Young on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Drew Supple. Low snap, picks up. The kick is good.
14-7, Valley the lead.
When did strength become an ego thing? Strength is about more than you. It's about grit, work ethic, carrying your own weight, and still rising to new challenges, whether or not they happen during regular business hours. Because even for the strongest, there are no guarantees. But for those who wake up with the streetlights to make sure the world keeps moving, Western makes one promise: more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
When you start a drive on the 25, it doesn't take long to get into the end zone. 2 plays, and the Tigers strike and take a lead. Kapinzu's kick is taken by Patton at the 5. He's at the 15, a little slow to pick up speed, puts a shoulder down, gets across the 20. We go down to the sideline. Jeff Brooks is there. Jeff, we didn't get a chance to talk to you. It was such a quick drive. What did you see on that possession?
Yeah, on both ways. So Ankeny got behind the chains on their last possession. Long third down, and I think it was 7 or 8. That's tougher to pick up than they did on their first drive. Gave Valley a short field, and they took advantage of it, man. That, a little reverse play, 20-plus yards, 2 plays, touchdown. So, and Mason's a horse. You ain't stopping him from 2 yards out. So let's see what Ankeny does here to get better situations on their, this possession.
Hawks have it 1st and 10 from the 21. Just under 11 to play here before half. Patton gets the handoff on the run, and he is able to get a couple of yards before Theron Castle the stop for the Tigers.
Williams out there leading the block, so you may see that like a 2 running back set there that to create a rate, just how you create a little bit of seam for Patton to take it downfield.
Williams the lone setback in the backfield. 3 receivers, Ward, Erlmeyer, and Patton to the top of the formation. Cole throws downfield. He has Patton, does a little juke step, and Jamo grabs it at the 45-yard line. 44 before he's taken down by Andrew Price. Play of 29.
Andrew Price giving up. He's at 5'11" there, but Patton he does a nice job of body control, getting in position to catch the ball where the defensive back can't interfere with it. The ball was out there, but I'm surprised he's got single coverage out there for a player like Patton.
Well, Coach Swenson told us this week, he said, hey, we know where 2 is at almost any moment. We see him on the sidelines, which it rarely happens, so. Cole under pressure. He's just going to put his head down and make something out of nothing there.
Hunter Clark got a shot on him, but still not after he picked up 5-6 yards there. So good decisive move by J.J. Cole. Nothing's out there. Let nothing's out there. Take it up to get what you can and make it a second and reasonable.
Kennan was chasing, but down is Theron Castle. He just went straight down to the turf and sat at the 38-yard line. And the line judge, which I didn't give you our officials tonight, our referee is Chris Gieris, our umpire is Zach Burt. Tom Behrens and Mitch Stulil are the line judges, and the back judge is Sean Behrens. And Castle takes his helmet off and walks across. He's holding his hands in front of him.
Sometimes on that turf you just land awkwardly, you land on a wrist, tweak something, so it's better to be safe, have him examine on the Valley sideline there, and hopefully comes back in the game.
Williams behind Cole, 2nd and 5 from the 41. Cole to pass. Here comes the heat. He gets by. Single coverage. Patton reaches up into the night sky and pulls it in for a huge completion. The man who brings him down is saying, hey, I got pushed. Isaiah Pinks here. Watch the single coverage on the top, but the heat in the middle, Tim, was hot.
Yeah, they brought 2 blitzing people, so it created everything is a single coverage back there, so a good pick by there. Patton does a great job of jumping it and catching it at the arc instead of letting the ball settle in his hands down by his waist. Hard to defend.
Gain of 30 for the Hawks. 8:42, clock moving after the chains are set. Cole throwing the ball a lot, but he's going to one target. Let's see who he throws to this time. It's Erlmeyer, and that was just a little too far out in front for Evan. He was covered by Price.
And Josh Brown in there also in the coverage on the underneath. So it's a smart move. Throw it to the outside. If it's not there, is double coverage. So see what they come up with second down. They've worked hard to get down here. I'm sure they want to answer the bell and tie this game.
14-7, Valley the lead, 8:29. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. 2 receivers near. Those are Erlmeyer and Ward. And before the snap, flags fly, and that's going to be a penalty, I believe, on Ankeny on the right side. Pointing at Jack Durfler. B-Roth and Durfler have been inserted into that lineup. So now what was 2nd and 9 becomes 2nd and 15. Different play call here, at least from the initial formation. Cole tried to figure out who was coming, and at least on a fake there, Hutchinson was hot from that cornerback position, linebacker. They throw right back at behind Erlmeyer, and Price has him down right away. But Erlmeyer gets to about the 11. Pick up a 4.
He wouldn't have picked up much more if the ball had been on target. But they're seeing something with Erlmeyer going between the hash marks, playing in the middle of the field, kind of your true slot receiver there, which brings the safety in a lot more, which opens up your wideouts.
Kruger now into an up formation off the line before the snap whistle, and I think this is going to be timeout Ankeny, and it is. Tigers lead 14-7 here.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WalkieChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WalkieChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. WalkieChevy.com.
Out of the timeout, the Hawks have it. 3rd and 10. They've been able to convert a lot of third downs. Let's see. They need to get to the 1 to extend the drive. Cole flushed out. There's a whole lot of turf there to the near side. JJ hurdles a man towards the end zone, but we'll find out where Superman stepped out, and the judge says at the 2. So that'll bring up 4th and 1. What do you do, Tim?
I think you go for it. I think you bring your heavy package in. You got a Rhino in there. I thought he got a lot closer. I thought he got down to the 1 or maybe inside because he was stretching that 6'7" frame. Nope, his foot did step out.
His foot stepped out, but the ball went out at about the 2. That's really a pretty good placement. From the gun, 4th and 1. Now the formation comes up tight. Patton in motion. Rolling out is Cole. Patton's wide open in the end zone. The toss, touchdown. 4th and 1, scores 6 more for the Hawks.
Yeah, Patton lined up on the left side of the formation like a tight end. Took a step back and then ran behind the line of scrimmage. You can see it again. Then there's a little cut up. It's a little drag route from behind the line of scrimmage, and then no one picked him up, and he was wide open.
That's almost like a play that Valley has run with Anderson. All Cole had to do was just, okay, he's so open, he's so open, he's so open. On to attempt the extra point is Werner, and it is good. Hawks tied with the Tigers at 14.
What they call a snow day, we call a work day. And the resume I leave behind is nothing but clean pavement. That's why I stay prepared for all the depths of winter with a plow that won't back down from a little overtime and takes care of business beyond 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 without skipping a beat. A plow you'd call a real MVP, the kind only Western builds, to get more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hawks had to convert on 4th down, and they get a touchdown and tie it up at 14. Short kick coming up. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 16, so an unforced error penalty, and I'm sure we're going to hear some words from the sideline up here, Jeff Brooks. You're on the opposite side. I'm sure you're going to hear it down there too.
I don't want to be over there on that sideline for that kickoff. That's, whew, especially with no wind. Yeah, great drive by Ankeny, though. They, like I said, I've been mentioning, every first down they've, made it 2nd and 5, 2nd and whatever, and just making those possessions easier for themselves, and worked. And then Patton has just been a beast here. It opens up the longer plays as it goes along. So a lot of time here in this half. Let's see how this turns out.
Tigers come back out. We're tied at 14, 7:43 to play here, second quarter. Price goes in motion, gets it on the wheel route. Nice block, but then two Hawks converge, fly together. Donnie Brown straight, who's back into the lineup, and Cale Halstead, the tackle for Ankeny. It'll be 2nd down, pickup of almost 4 on the play. Quick huddle, come the Tigers, at least they get to the line of scrimmage here. Mason, the running back. And then they'll set things up again and look to the sideline to see what they want to do. Provenza calls for it, gives it to Mason. Darius near the 45 and does get across, and that's good enough for a first down. 2 plays move the chains for the Tigers.
Yeah, Valley has a good field position. They know what they want to do on offense. They want to get their skill players. Price is kind of the one you have to watch out for because he's extremely quick, good athlete out there, and they like to get him into space. So you got the running back, you got the quarterback that runs, and it's going to open up that passing lane for Price. And we've seen Anderson, the tight end, open a lot more too.
First down and 10. Provenza to run. Has room. Cross midfield into Ankeny territory. He has a first down almost. It's going to be 9 yards short. Hey, a couple things going on here on this near sideline. J.J. Cole is getting medical attention on the table at midfield off. They're just kind of massaging that left leg. The other is there is a pair of pads on the ground, and that is 55, meaning Cade Benetham. He looks to be out. His shoulder is wrapped on the right side, so it looks like his night is done. That will require a little bit more from Booth, Jackson, and Donnie Brown straight to fill in those holes on the defensive line. 2nd and 1, Mason underneath gets the first down to about the 44 before Jackson the stop as well as straight. And now coming in for Ankeny is Vinny Villamegna.
Hendrickson there also on the tackle. Looks like, I wonder if Cole landed awkwardly on that dive for the end zone, and they were just checking out his leg there. Might have tweaked the muscle.
So far, the Hawks have had very little response for Michael Provenza running the football. Here comes some heat on Provenza. He shakes it and completes it. Dylan Doherty makes the tackle. Coming on the sprint blitz there was Will Henricks, who's now playing a little more on the defensive side than the offense, and they're going to need him more tonight.
When you get those opportunities to sack a quarterback like that, you got to break down a little bit. Don't go so fast. Get a tackle. But Provenza shook him off there and was able to get the pass off. So opportunity missed there for the defense.
It's not your everyday high school quarterback. This Provenza kid is getting better each and every game. He's going to run it around the right side, get past the line of scrimmage and into the secondary before Sandvig comes up along with Trent Jacobs.
They're getting some great seal blocks there. The tight ends be able to kick the defensive lineman out. He's getting the right leverage. Just creates the lane there for Provenza. And it's also Mason's getting a block in there. So it's working well. He's had some great running games. We're going to see our leading rusher. Our first 100-yard rusher of the game is going to be the quarterback for Valley.
Right now, Michael Provenza has 4 carries, 36 yards. Just seems like a whole lot more. He's been able to get any yards he wants. 1st and 10. Now it's the Wildcat. They go with Price. He spins his way through, and he gets into the linebacking core inside the 25 and near the 20 before he's tackled by Henricks and P.J. Westover.
I see Patton coming in here on the defense, but I'm seeing some missed tackles. Guys are coming in, they're diving, they're using arm tackles, they aren't breaking down and cutting that. So the spin moves are working. They're picking up yards after the initial hit. So Valley's doing a good job of balancing their offense and gouging this defense for 6-7 yards a pop.
Gain of 7. Provenza back in there behind center. The give to Mason, left tackle. He cuts back, stiff arms his way down past Patton. Patton makes the stop, but not before Mason gets inside the 15 on a good dive.
We've seen a lot of substitutions there on the Yankees, keeping them fresh, keeping that line fresh. But they don't seem to be getting off their blocks and getting in there and making contact more at the line of scrimmage. A lot of these yards are being tackled well into that second level there where the linebackers are.
I think we're going to see some of those offensive linemen kind of rotate in on defense. Trying to put some heat. They have Jacobs up on the line. Handoff Mason. He falls down. So Donnie Brown Straight will get credit for the tackle. Also, looked like Luke. Was that Luke Clipping, 35? Haven't seen Luke play much. 95. Andrew Hasse.
Putting more of their prevent defense in, some more extra defensive backs here since they're looking at a 2nd and 10. Needing to stop them here and make it a long yardage situation. But now here's the defense. Is the quarterback going to keep? Is he going to pass? Are we going to see Mason?
2 minutes to halftime. It's been a fast-moving game to this point. Anderson goes in motion. Play action, they roll to the near side. Provenza makes a whole lot of guys miss. He's one tackler or blocker away from scoring, and he does so. 14-yard score. Tigers take the lead back with 1:40 to play.
Looks like he wanted to run it to the right side. He went there, stopped, found a hole. The whole defense had shifted back. He cut it back to the left, and he found a wide open lane to the end zone.
Pretty impressive drive by the Tigers on that one. March right down the field. The extra point is good. They take a 21-14 lead with 1:40 to go before half.
Used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car. So to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should.
Valley putting on an offensive clinic. That drive went 10 plays, 65 yards, another touchdown. As the kick is taken short by Patton. If he can get by this guy, but he's a shoestring tackle for Valley, and that is Sam Swanson. Here is our Jeff Brooks down on the sideline with this update. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, that was an impressive drive by Valley. I just, man, that quarterback, they got to figure out how to slow him down a little bit. Ankeny does, you know. I don't know if it's spying on him or something, but he's quick and elusive, so credit to them. Coach is going to have to make some adjustments at halftime. Still plenty of time to get some points on the board here for Ankeny, though.
Looking at the defense sitting on the bench there, they are a bunch that's kind of been having a rough go trying to stop Valley. Let's see what the Hawks do. They go Patton on a reverse of sorts. He gets through the jet sweep, and then, boy, if it's not for Chase Hutchinson, Patton might still be running.
Yeah, he just got him on the shoestrings there, but he lost his footing, but still gained 9 yards on that reverse play. So there's plenty of time with timeouts with 1:14 to see if they can move the ball.
And Patton is slow to get back up. He is down on the turf, sitting upright. I don't know if that's a cramp or just a twist. The way he pops up, I'm going to say cramp.
There's maybe tweak. You know, sometimes people grab you and they grab you by the ankle there. When you try to pull away, it just kind of pops a little bit. So plenty of time to go on the sideline. He's been the last drive. He was their big firepower. So see what J.J. Cole wants to do here with his top receiver being out.
Well, Jacob Moorfeld now into the game. 1:13, clock moving. Ankeny with 2 timeouts. Trying to counter this Valley 21-14 lead. Cole throws, far side. He had Maddox Ward wide open. Ward makes a move, and it is off to the races. Maddox Ward has no men to beat because he outran them all. Huge play of 71 yards and a score for Ankeny here on homecoming.
I guess Maddox Ward just answered my question. What's J.J. Cole going to do with Patton on the sideline?
He made a move and did the rest.
That's a big, big touchdown for this team because they were getting run on. I mean, we haven't seen Valley punt yet tonight, so to get a touchdown with 55 seconds left here is big for the Hawks.
To attempt the extra point, Keegan Warner. Kick is up, and we are tied at 21. 55 ticks to go before half.
Now, Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Home. Valley student section a little hot, a little excited. Short kick taken at the 18 by Hutchinson. And he gets out to about the 30. 49 seconds, 3 timeouts for Valley. Let's go down Jeff Brooks, who didn't have much to analyze there other than a big play.
Yeah, no, I had to hustle down to the other end of the field to set up my halftime interview now. So, yeah, Ankeny, what they needed. It would have been tough for them to go into halftime down by 7 with Valley getting the ball back, I believe. That puts a little pressure on them. Now tied up, if they can hold them here, there's still plenty of time on the clock to score. But yeah, that was a big touchdown for Ankeny, especially with Patton out.
Valley goes 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. 49 seconds to play. Maddox Ward, 71 yards on that play. He only had 115 yards receiving coming into that game, so he nearly doubled it in one play. Before the snap, timeout Valley, and that's a little frustrating for Coach Swenson's crew because you have to call a timeout after a possession change.
Yeah, the clock wasn't running, but the Ankeny defense shifted up there after the call came from the sideline. Having a single safety brought everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, so they didn't like what they see. The play wasn't going to work, forcing Valley to take a timeout.
You are watching Urbandale, which is playing Centennial. Centennial 14, Urbandale 10. That game is before half. Johnston and Dowling, it's a 2-point lead for the Maroons in the second quarter. Southeast Polk leads Linmar 14-7, and Sioux City North leads Waukee 14-10. Here it is 21 for Ankeny, 21 for Valley, 49 seconds to go. Valley still with 2 timeouts and the ball. They're at the Valley 31-yard line. A couple yards short of where Ankeny just went deep. So we'll see what they do here on 1st down. Provenza on the snap. Looks to the near side. Has a man. Caught at the 35 and quickly downed is Sam Smines at the 36. Second down, clock moving, 35 seconds.
Good tackle by Sandvig out there in the open field, not to let him get to the sideline to stop the clock.
Provenza still in the hurry up. Takes the snap, rolls out to the far side. He wants to throw deep. He gets it into the Valley sideline. That'll stop the clock at 22 seconds.
Good job by Donovan Brown straight out there. Got off his block out to the outside, forcing the quarterback to keep running and having to throw high and out of bounds. So good pressure on there. It's probably the best pressure I've seen them by the Ankeny defense tonight of the quarterback to not let him run and throw a pass earlier than he wanted to.
Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking cross country, both boys and girls. John Lindemann for the boys, Eric Klingensmith for the girls. Good season so far for the Ankeny cross country teams. Provenza here on 3rd and 5 from the 36. Still 2 timeouts. Here comes some heat. Provenza runs to the left side, spins his way through, and he'll get across the 1st down marker at the 41. Clock will stop for just a moment at 16 seconds. Timeout Valley.
Got the big lineman out there, Owen Westmeyer out there on the left side. Derek Ellens, the guard out there. They crashed that into the line down there, creating that gap there for Provenza to run. He's picked up 5-6 yards on that play for the 1st down. So the design run play all the way.
Is it a little different, Tim, when you know Valley is either running it or passing it? It seems like Ankeny's they've had a harder time guessing the play than in these last 2 situations. It's pretty obvious what Valley's trying to do.
Yeah, because the only way to get to the end zone is to pass it. But I think they've looking at some different keys out there. But if you're always reading, then you're stopping with 1 yard deep in the backfield. You're looking around. You aren't pursuing the quarterback. But if you could tee off more and get across the line, but you got to keep your lane integrity. I think that's what they did there is they kept their lane integrity. So there's less lanes to run into. You got to force them to the outside because your sideline's your friend if you can make a quarterback run out before cutting upfield.
Sideline is your friend, just like our old neighbor used to tell the kids. The grass is your friend when you're learning to ride a bike. I like it. Provenza to throw, 3-step drop, steps under pressure, and then he is going to be taken down. Austin Bailey, the senior. And that is how the half is going to end, on a blitz for the Hawks. We are tied at 21. What a great first half of football. Jeff Brooks is going to make his way to find Rick Nelson, the Ankeny head coach. He's going to have a word with the officials just to say hello and see what you're doing. And
great defensive call there, bringing Halstead the outside, creating the inside lane to blitz. There was no blocker right there, and the quarterback had no time to get the ball off.
21-21, both of these teams. Valley is yet to punt the football. They've scored on all 3 of their possessions. Ankeny just had the ball first, and then they did have to punt it away once, but it has been very exciting. Let's hear what the head Hawk has to say to Jeff Brooks as they make their way off the field, because they need to clear for the band, which is making their way. So, Jeff, I'm buying you a couple of steps before we go down to you, which is right now.
I'm here with Coach Nelson. Coach, hey, offensively, great first half. It seemed like you got in short yardage on first downs, helped you out. Well, what can you say there that first half?
Well, our offense played pretty good. We threw the ball extremely well. JJ really looks he's on fire right now, and he made some good plays with his feet. So offensively, I think we're doing pretty well. We had one penalty that kind of hurt us a little bit, but I think the big thing is on our defense, we got to tackle. We haven't tackled anybody.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how. So their quarterback pretends he's pretty athletic out there. Is it just a vision thing, read thing? What are you going to tell the boys that happen?
To me, they're just reaching. They're not bringing their feet. They're just grabbing. They're not tackling. They're just grabbing. Like maybe they think that we're playing flag football. They're grabbing his flags.
All right, Coach. Hey, good luck second half.
Thank you.
All right. Jeff Brooks down on the sideline playing flag football. I was going to say the same thing, but Coach Nelson beat me to it. All right, the Ankeny Band is on the field. We will show you their show in 2 weeks, but now we're going to show you a couple of commercials and then talk cross country. But before we go, Tim, real quick, listening to what Nelson had to say, do you agree, disagree with what he said?
Absolutely. I said that earlier. I said they're not moving their feet. They're not getting in front of not good tackling formation, and they're reaching out. And these guys are too good. You have to get in front of them and tackle them. And I think once they get that down, they can keep their quarterback contained.
We're tied at half, 21-all. This is high school football from CISN.
Love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
When you need to conquer the drifts on your property, get the job done your way. The Western Defender Compact Snowplow. All the professional grade features in just the right size for your mid-sized pickup or SUV. Easy to attach and easy to use. Get the performance to plow like this and finish like this. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the whole difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go.
So can your car. So to get free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
Back here on the halftime show. Let's talk cross country again this week, but this time we're going to talk with the Ankeny coaches. John Lindeman coaches the boys, Eric Klingsmith, the girls. Last week, Coach, you're both in Kansas. Eric, we'll start with you. The girls, well, let's start before Kansas. How have they been running? I mean, that Kansas meet's a big meet. Let's just discuss how they were approaching and getting to that point.
So we've got a lot of depth this year, which is not usual for us. Usually we have like top 5 who are pretty strong, and then we kind of have some girls who like influx in and out. But this year we've got a great group of girls who are able to kind of just pack run together throughout most of the meets, and it's been nice to see them progress over the season and get stronger and better and more strategic. We're working on strategy a lot more with that pack group, and then you got Drew Beeson, who's our front runner, who's our low stick, and she's out there and she's plugging away every day, getting better and moving up towards that top tier, wanting to go back to state and get another medal and perform well for us. So they've been working well together. The unit has been phenomenal. So
you said low stick. I've not heard that term. What's that?
The fastest runner on the team. So she's our low stick.
Because she's the low number, right?
Low
Is that
number,
what you mean?
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gosh, I'd never heard the low stick part of that. John's looking at me like, what do we
New
what
for
do you
me
mean?
too.
New for you too? Okay.
Yes.
John, how about your squad? I mean, how would you assess them?
This group that we have this year, they love to compete. They love to compete. They love to battle. Our varsity team came out, got off to a pretty good start. We went to the Marshalltown meet, placed second there. I think in the boys side, we had 14 of the top 15 teams. So that was kind of a big deal for our kids, kind of a good opportunity for them to realize that they can run at the next level. So that was really, really good for them. Then we've kind of had a gauntlet of pretty tough races, go from Marshalltown, which is probably one of the biggest races in Iowa. Then we went right over to the Heartland Invite at Pella, which was, you've got a lot of out-of-state teams there. And then we followed that up with Rimrock. So 3 pretty big races. Our varsity squad is in dire need of a week off, after 3 tough races like that. And then we can refocus and get ready for championship racing. So I like the way our guys are competing and racing every week and tackling each practice like they want to get a spot up on the podium at the state meet.
Eric, you mentioned Drew Beeson. Paige isn't too bad either. You've got, let's name a bunch of these girls that have really kind of matriculated up.
Paige and Briley have been kind of battling out for that number 2 spot on our team. And Briley, she wasn't a surprise, but she went out for track last season for the first time since she's been on the cross country team. And Briley's really, she found her pace and she's learned how to race and be competitive. And it's just really awesome to see her up there that far. And Paige had a great workout yesterday. We ran some hills and she was a monster at it. And so her demeanor is changing. She usually races fairly nice, and I like seeing her get a little bit grittier in the end of their season of her senior year. So it's going to be nice to see what she does in these next few meets in the championship season, like John said. We got a freshman, Reagan Pendergrast, who came to us this year, and so she's been a nice asset to the team as well. She's moved her way up the ranks on the varsity squad, and then we got some girls who go in and out. So McKenna Medeski has made it onto the varsity team for this next race, and so she's kind of a freshman who's been making her way up there. And then Alex Gloviak, of course, has been there quite a bit this year. And gosh, we just got so many, like about 14 girls who just keep going in and out in those top spots, which is kind of nice. Like I said, the depth on our team has been nice to have. We've not had that before, where we can rest some girls and have some other girls kind of come in and take those spots over. So it's been pretty nice.
Did anybody have big eyes on Saturday in Kansas?
Well, yeah, I think on the JV race, McKenna Medeski did. She came in third, and then Drew came in second at Kansas at Rimrock. And Drew was sitting like fourth place, fifth place, sixth place there for the first half of the race. And the second half of the race, it kind of clicked with her, and she just started picking girls off. And at the end, if we would have had like maybe 100 meters left in that race, I think she would have ended up getting first. And I said, ironically, that the girl who beat her was, I came from Missouri, coaching Smithville, Missouri. The girl who beat her was from the high school that I coached at, that I started my cross country coaching career at. So that was kind of an irony for us. And I told her that, and she thought that was kind of neat too.
As roads converge.
Yeah.
John, how about for you? I mean, we were following along those results, and how'd you think the guys did in Kansas?
Definitely, we looked at last year's times, compared what we did last year to this year, and all of our guys are significantly better. And that's what we're looking for, is that growth from year to year. We've had some guys really step up and have big races. You look at Levi Hill; he's been our top runner all year, low stick. And he put himself in position, in the gold race at Kansas. You've got some nationally ranked runners that are there and some pretty big time competition. He put himself right in the mix to have a top 3 finish in that race. The last kilometer is usually when Levi has a pretty monster kick, and due to the hills and the course, he couldn't quite get that kick rolling. He ended up 11th, which is still pretty good for that race, but he was right there in contention, right there in striking distance for that top 3 spot here with the last kilometer to go. So big time race out of him. I think the exciting thing about our team is we haven't put it all together yet. We've had good races here and there by some of our guys, and then some of our guys maybe not the great races. So I'm excited to see when our kids are able to put it all together. I think we've kind of been focusing on this part of the season that's starting right now to do that, and I'm excited to see what we can do when we do put that together. But the guys definitely improved from last year to this year. That last year they kind of had that deer in the headlights look, like you said. This year we've run some more big races, so I feel like they kind of went in and said, we got this. This is no big deal.
Year 2, 3, 4 have kind of been, like you mentioned, kind of in and out. Let's name some guys. I could name them for you, but I always like to put the coach on the spot so he doesn't forget.
Right. Well, we've got a sophomore, Ethan Zuber. He's kind of rewritten the record books for our sophomore rankings. Even right up there in the top 25 all time Ankeny runners. That's how good he was running through the first few meets of the season. He was hurt all year last year. He's kind of been dealing with a little bit of an injury. We could probably be running him, but we just want to be really safe and make sure he's available for us at the state meet. So he didn't run the last couple meets, which obviously, compromises our team score a little bit, but we've got other guys that'll step right up and do some great things. So Jake Bosch has been a rock for us all season. He's kind of been at that 2-3 spot for us. Like I said, I think towards the end of the year, you're going to see him really start to roll. Then of course we've got Abel Squires. He's been just doing his thing every meet. He goes out, and we can always count on what we're going to get for him. Aiden Farrell dealt with some health issues, and we're kind of getting him back on track, just making sure his food intake is where it needs to be, and he's eating the right things. And I think he noticed a pretty big difference between his last couple races and this one. So these guys are, they're working hard. So
they're getting there. All right, Eric, as we close up here, what do you see as goals? I mean, of course, state meet, you always want to run with as a team in Fort Dodge, but what's the plan here as you hit the final stretch?
I think like John was saying too, we just haven't hit our race where everybody is on the same page together and everybody has a great race at the same time. So I think that's going to be our main goal, is to make sure that everybody stays healthy. I know we're getting into the part of the season now where kids start getting sick, and so we're trying to keep everybody healthy, injury free, focusing in on our strategy for the next few races and making sure we've got that down, so that when we hit that big meet at state, that we can start to push our way up. Even though we're ranked 10th right now, like I can see us being in the top 5 and maybe even making a bid for that podium if we can get everybody together on that same page and moving forward and getting our great position in that state race. And of course, you got to qualify first. So really the eye is on the district meet. That's kind of our bread and butter, wanting to know where we're going to be and what strategies we got to come up with to make sure we hit that course hard.
John, same thing. You're getting kind of the same pattern for you closing in at the end of the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Our guys are excited to compete. We've kind of changed our mindset this year. Instead of just being happy to qualify for the state meet or looking at certain teams we want to race against, we kind of changed the way we thought about going into the season. Instead of saying, hey, let's try to get 10th or 12th or 8th or whatever, we're like, hey, what do we have to do to race with the Dowlings and the Sioux City Norths and the school and the powerhouses? So we've kind of tried to change the way we approach the season, and it seemed to be paying off so far. So I think these guys are going to be hungry and ready to roll come championship racing time.
All right, that's John Lindeman, head coach of the boys cross country, and Eric Klingensmith, head coach of the girls cross country at Ankeny. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, halftime show continues right here on CISN. We'll be back in a moment.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors, stewards of your dollars and savings. Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the car guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
for the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WalkieChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WalkieChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. WalkieChevy.com.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
21 all at halftime between Ankeny and Valley here from Ankeny Stadium tonight. He's Tim Halber. I'm Paul Yeager. Tim, we talked about in the open, Michael Provenza and Mason for Valley. Check. Both pretty impressive.
Yeah. Opposite stats that I thought they would have, because we only have Mason with 8 carries for 19 yards, but Provenza 7 carries, 49 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So I thought that would have been the opposite, but he's been the story of the first half.
All right, and one of the stories of the first half is with our Jeff Brooks. He has Gary Swenson down on the sidelines, tied at 21. Jeff?
Coach Swenson, hey, tied at 21 here at halftime. Great ball game. Your offensive production, you look pretty good. A lot of good plays on there. What'd you tell the boys at halftime?
Well, we're trying to shore some things up defensively. All in all, our defense didn't play that badly. We just had a great receiver catching some unbelievable throws. I mean, that's just, you got to tip your cap to the plays they made. But I like how we're playing offensively. We've been very efficient. We haven't had to punt yet. We've converted every chance we had. We just got to be able to get a stop, get off the field defensively, create a big play somewhere, maybe on defense or in the kicking game. We're going to need some points out of other parts of our game to win this thing.
Great, Coach. Yeah, you summed it up. You had a great first half. Good luck the second half.
All right, Gary Swenson with Jeff Brooks. And Gary, who's coached at West Marshall, Manning, Spencer, and now he has been the man at Valley for decades and has hit many accomplishments. And one of my favorite Gary Swenson stories, Tim, is when Gary was coaching early, a young assistant or young coach. It was Saturday morning. They drove to the intersection of this highway and exchanged film. That was his job. Film, not VHS. Film.
Yep, the good old tin canisters, about an inch thick. You sit there and you whine and get a spool in the reel, and then it'll snap. And I remember the good old days. Yes,
the good old days. All right. Well, Tim, you were looking at the stats there before we cut to Gary. Ankeny 198 passing, 60 rushing, 258. Coach just said it. He goes, they made 2 great plays, and the big plays. J-Mo Patton, 5 catches, 96 yards. 2 of them, huge receptions, very athletic. Not many guys can make those plays.
No, and he does it when he jumps up for that. He gets it at the peak, so he's another 2 foot above the DB. So very athletic move as a receiver, and 2 of those catches came as a result of his athleticism.
Earl Meyer, 4 catches for 27 yards. Maddox Ward, 1 catch, 71 yards, where he was in for Patton, or at least the primary receiver on that, and he made the most of that opportunity. Rushing the ball has been a little harder for the Hawks, only 60 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah, like the coach said, defense is doing a very good job of keeping them in check. They forced them into third downs. They only had 1 punt the entire first half, and that was by Ankeny.
And Michael Provenza, 7 carries, 49 yards for Valley. Mason, 8 carries, 19. Price, 2 for 30. Passing-wise, Anderson, 3 catches, 31. So when you look at the stats, 61 passing, 107 rushing, 168 total, how's Valley have 21 points?
Being very efficient. Well, they had the short field twice. They had a very short punt, or they had a punt return that took it down inside the 40-yard line, and they had a kickoff that went out of bounds, and they started the ball at the 35. So you can't give Valley great field position because any kind of drive, you're going to be deep in the Ankeny territory.
Well, we are tied at 21. It is homecoming. It is a beautiful night for football. We've heard from Jeff Brooks on the sideline. We have other games going on. We have just a few seconds before we start half number 2. Tim, as you kind of look at this Ankeny team, that advantage we have of we see these teams regularly when they come. We also see their progress. What progress have you seen in Ankeny?
This is probably the sharpest I've seen Cole passing. We'll see how it is. He got nicked up there right before the half. I thought he was doing well. Patton becoming more of an offense weapon. But I think I want to see more balance on their offense. The defense, they need to figure out they were gapping, getting gouged, they weren't making tackles. So really, the improvement was to be in this defense. If it's a new defense, they need to make tackles and get back to form.
Centennial leads Urbandale 14-10. They're in the third quarter on that game. Other out-of-town games going on right now. Dowling leads Johnston 21-12. They're at the mid-break. Polk is now a touchdown +1 better than Linmar, 21-13, and Sioux City North leads Waukee 14-10. Next week, we will have Centennial hosting Waukee Northwest. That'll be the game we have here. So here on CISN tonight from Ankeny Stadium as we get ready for half number 2. Quarter number 3, Valley will get the kick and the ball to start. So, Tim, it might be who comes with last possession tonight.
It could be. We could be, or we could be here all night.
What, Iowa State, do they even play tomorrow?
They do. They have to go down to little town of Kansas tomorrow.
To tell you what, KU is good football team, K-State good football team, either one of those assignments. Ball goes off the hands of Hutchinson. He has to go back to the 5, gets it back up, and then he gets to about the 15, almost 20-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will start their first half possession of the second half.
Kansas not used to having a big crowd. They had to call in extra people to work because they're going to have sold out.
Best joke I heard this week about this game. Loser of Kansas, Iowa State has to coach Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, I'm nervous about this game, so I hope that isn't, written down anywhere.
When's the last time you've been nervous about playing Kansas? Well, this year they have the attention of everyone. Provenza back in at quarterback. He'll snap it. And his fingers, quick throw out to his tight end, Anderson, coming out of the backfield. Reed Johnson there on coverage, incomplete, second down.
A little bit of rush there from Ankeny, coming on the outside. The main thing is they need to key on, I think, at halftime, probably talk about make the tackles, but also keep Provenza in the pocket. Don't let him tuck in run because he's athletic, and he cuts really well. So that's what they want to do is keep him under check.
Valley led Southeast Polk at half and came out flat in that second half. And we'll see what happens here on this second half. Approach. Only one play. They go Mason, which is a great option up the middle, and then he's met by a whole bunch of tacklers. Diego Jackson was there, and might have been Donnie Brown Straight. It's Connor Kaiser. Also Dylan Doherty. A lot of different guys getting in there also. Let's see. Jacob Kruger comes in. Yep, Carson Booth. But we are not going to see Cade Benetham. He is out from a first-half injury and won't return.
3rd and 8, this is where the defense wants to get to start the drive. It's how you come out that half, defense or offense. So the defense has done well here to make a 3rd and long and see if they can stop and force the first punt.
Let's see if Valley can hold the pressure coming from the Hawks. Provenza steps right underneath it on cue, stumbles, and he is going to be well short of the first down. He only makes it to the 25-yard line. P.J. Westover there on tackle, as is Kruger.
Yeah, I wonder if they're working on a spy there, looking at where the quarterback's going to be, that if he tucks it and runs, he gets past that line. He had some room out there, but they closed quickly on him, only giving him about a 5-yard gain, so causing Valley to punt for the first time tonight.
Dawson Stein to line up in punt formation on 4th and 3. 3 and out for Valley, pending the punt. Stein gets rid of it. Westover lets it bounce, and he will let it continue to roll. It will now take back and be downed at the 40-yard line. All right, Jeff Brooks, we kind of stuck you with an interview and didn't get a chance to get your first half impressions. What did you see in the first half?
Yeah, I saw a lot of really good offense, first off. For Valley, they stick with what's working, right? Until you stop it, I'm going to keep doing the same thing. And it looked like Ankeny made a little adjustment coming out. For Ankeny, same thing. They have a good plan. It looks like they executed it. As Coach Swenson said, they're clicking tonight. So we'll see what happens in their first drive.
Cole under center gives it to Williams, who bobbles the snap. Odd on 1st and 10 from the 40. Ankeny goes under center. 4th and goal from the 1, or 4th and 1 from the 2. They're in shotgun.
Kingston on Sivison there on the block. He's creating a little bit of a forward motion on there, but want to test that defense to see what kind of alignment they're going to have with a tight line formation of Ankeny.
Cole to run it around the right side. He gets to the outside, makes a move, puts another move on a guy, and he's into the open territory, into the secondary, all the way down to the 25-yard line. Pickup of, that'd be 32 yards. Watch it again here.
Is that where he thinks Provenza?
Williams made a block there. So did Patton.
And usually it's your wideouts and your running backs making blocks that springs a quarterback like that. So big game. That was a called run play all the way.
Mason Ray, the tackle for Valley. Back to the right side. Jason Williams, one of his better runs from scrimmage that we've seen in a while. He gets almost 9 on that play.
Good block in there by Jack Dorfler. Sophomore getting a good block, that interior line. You're doing a good job there. When you run up the middle like that, straight line, he's not having to cut. That means the line is opening holes into the linebacker range.
2nd and 2. Hawks on the move. Williams, left side, first down. Following the block of Dorfler.
If Mason Ray did make the tackle, I think he was going to go straight in the end zone. He was the last guy there to get the tackle, but still it's forward motion. They're gouging. Ankeny coming out, putting the ball on the ground, making a statement of that offense, and we're gonna drive the ball till you stop us.
Again, that tight formation. Even the trips receivers to the near side are close to the formation. with Kruger, Patton. They go play action now. Cole rolls out, sets his feet, escapes one tackler, throws towards the end zone, has a guy in the back, and it's over the head of J-Mo Patton.
Yeah, good job by Cole. They're not getting sacked. Going out there, if it's not open, throw it out the back of the end zone. They had the rollout out there, but a good job of the defensive end to hold him in for not getting free out there. So now brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 14.
Play clock only at 10. Lots of time for the Hawks. 3 receivers to the left. Cole's going to keep it, and he is going to be upended at the 15-yard line.
Hunter
like
Clark.
Drew Supple, the tackle.
And Hunter Clark in there as well. I thought they had a single coverage there. The Pat was in there in the slot receiver, and then they had a single safety. I thought they might have taken a look there, but now you got a little more difficult 3rd and 9.
From the 13-yard line, the Hawks need to get inside the 5. Hawks were big on 3rd down in the first half. Cole throws it towards the end zone over the head of Patton. Great coverage, Chase Hutchinson, and it'll be decision time for Ankeny here on 4th and 9. And it looks like it's going to be a field goal attempt coming.
It's a real fountain in there for Valley getting a hit on Cole. He wanted to get rid of it a little bit quicker than he wanted to. He couldn't get the touchdown. Interesting on the left side there, the tight end, Kruger was open. He went out there and got away from the linebacker. So if they'd have looked back to the left, he'd have been wide open.
Warner, the 30-yard attempt from the near hash is long enough, and it is good. Hawks take a lead 24-21 with 7:22 to play.
1,500 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hawks turn the punt into 3 points. They go 7 plays, 47 yards. Mason takes it at the 1. He stiff arms a man at the 15. Now it's a race to the sideline, and the open field tackle is initiated by Ankeny's Braden Rao. It's like, wow, there is a down Hawk at the 24, and it looks like that is the linebacker. That is Trent Jacobs. Let's go down Jeff Brooks on the sideline for this update.
Nice drive by Ankeny there to get a field goal on the board. Big stand at the end there for Valley, too, so to keep it just a 3-point game. So Valley comes back and answers. Something to watch after that was all done. One of the Ankeny linemen had some words with the official, and his teammates had to pull him away, and I think that official went and warned the coaches, so they weren't having none of that business. So
what was he?
I think he was talking about being held, or, the things those offensive linemen talk about. They don't do anything cheap, so, No, I think it was a holding thing. But he got a little aggressive, and his teammates had to pull him away, so the referee didn't like that at all. But we'll see how that turns out. Just something to watch for.
The game is one of passion, right, Jeff?
Absolutely. So.
All right, Jeff Brooks down on our sideline tonight. Thank you, sir, for that update. Jacobs is going to be helped to the sideline, and he is not putting any weight on that left foot right now as he's being helped by the training staff.
sophomore linebacker there. You know, running down the middle of the field on a kickoff, there are some high-impact collisions there, so I'm surprised more guys don't get dinged up running down the field.
I think we interviewed Jacobs earlier this year, and we were just so impressed at how strong he was as a sophomore, just strong in general. Provenza goes to work in the Tiger offense from the 21-yard line. 7-12. Tigers down by 3. Tigers trying to get into formation here. They have 4 receivers to the top of the formation. Provenza calls for it, tosses it to Mason. He makes a man miss and then cuts back and gets to about the line of scrimmage. P.J. Westover and Dylan Doherty, the tackle.
I think it looks like Colstead was the first guy there. Or Kruger, I think, was in there, causing Mason to change direction a little bit, slow him down to let the rest of his friends from defense come over and make the tackle.
So now Dylan Doherty is in there. It's just a 2 linebacker set with Morrison and Kaiser in that traditional linebacker. Doherty kind of playing that money spot back, and before the snap, a timeout taken by Valley at 6:29. We'll take one as well.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Michael Provenza is brought down by Diego Jackson. Sacks him. Provenza, every time Ankeny thinks they have him for a loss of 15, he pulls this.
Yes, the outside linebacker there had a free shot. And once again, you got to come under control to make that tackle.
Okay, so is Ankeny over pursuing that play too much?
Yes, I think you always want to make a big hit on the quarterback. You get a little anxious and you speed up, and I'm going to hit him, and then he takes a little sidestep, and then you go flying by. So coming under control, at least if you don't make the tackle, you keep in the backfield.
Linebackers are on the line of scrimmage, and then they step back in coverage. Pass is off the fingertips of the tight end, Bryce Anderson, and it'll be 4th down again. Tigers didn't punt in the first half. They're lining up to punt for the second time here in the second.
Yeah, that's a long throw from the outside hash, just off the fingertips. So, good job by the defense. You know, that'd have been the first half. Provenza would have had a first down on that run, but the defense held again on downs.
Tigers last week held on to beat Marshalltown. The second half was a little bit of a struggle. They beat Waukee the week before that. 2 losses to Polk and Urbandale. They opened the year with a win over Waukee Northwest. We'll see the Wolves here next week against Centennial. Coach Nelson said, hey, Valley's played a tough schedule. So is Ankeny, for that matter. The Hawks have played, according to BC Moore, the 18th team, the 9th, the 2nd, the 4th, the 25th, and tonight Valley is the 10th. Valley has played the 13th, 4th, 15th, 18th, and 23rd, and tonight they play number 3, Ankeny. Ankeny is ranked number 1 by the Cedar Rapids Gazette, and BC Moore puts the Hawks 3rd.
But by power rankings, they have them as number 2 in 5A.
Handoff Williams up the middle, and he escapes, makes another man miss, and that is the Williams that Coach Nelson's been looking for. He said a couple of weeks ago, hey, we need Jason to get a little bit more into this offense, run more our way. There it finally looks like he felt a little comfortable ad-libbing.
Yeah, a little trap play by Kingston out there, creating that seam, and then Williams loves to run up inside the tackles, and then if he gets past the linebackers, look out.
Cole under center, gives it to Williams, right side, gets through the line. He's in the secondary and gets a little bit of a burst of speed before Andrew Price tackles him at the feet inside to the 28. 2 run plays, 2 first downs for the Hawks.
Yeah, it's great for Cole to have that running game. And if Price didn't make the tackle, he would have been in the end zone. So it's good blocking up there. There's a little crossplay. I think the line shortened their gaps to prevent Valley from getting so much penetration. They're seeing a little more success with that gapping they're using.
Williams behind the block of Carson Sommerfeld. Sommerfeld being used in that fullback blocking position. He'll come off, and Erlmeyer will come back in.
There is going to be a film they're going to watch tomorrow. And Kingston just completed his block, so to say, on his player there, and putting him on his back. So, but that kind of blocking up there creates, those, picking up 4 yards on a first down.
2nd and 6 from the 24. 4:06 to play third quarter. Williams gets the call again, and he's going to get the first down. Chase Hutchinson the stop. Why do anything but run the football right now if you're Ankeny?
And then the last drive, the same thing. They got down here, they started passing, and they started having Cole run the ball. So I think until Valley shows that they could stop him, I would keep doing this. I didn't mean so much gapping. I meant the spacing between your linemen. Sometimes you have more than a yard. They shorten it down quite a bit, but I think it's working that they don't have to reach as much to make their blocks against this Valley line.
Cole play action, has a defender and just throws it away at the feet of Kruger. Giving big heat was Kennan, and a flag is going to be thrown, and it's likely going to be intentional grounding. The officials will huddle to see. There was Kruger, I'd say maybe 8 yards away. Obvious what Cole was doing, but was it so obvious that it was an intentional grounding?
Yeah, he did. He's still inside the tackles, but there was a receiver out in the flat. It wasn't like he was throwing it into dead space, but it did not pass the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding called, which will be a loss of down.
So moving back 10 yards plus loss of down.
Now you're going to have to pass the ball. Kennan was the guy we talked about in the open, Tim. You were impressed with his size. The last couple of passing plays, Kennan's been there making life miserable for Cole.
He's got a good move to get in the backfield. He's not letting Cole get to the outside. It's twice now he's not letting him go to the outside. So look for something. We have seen earlier Erlmeyer getting in that slot position and finding room in the inside.
Passing situation, Cole with time, gets it away to Williams out of the backfield, and then that play is blown up thanks to Isaiah Pinks. He has 16 and a half tackles on the season. Add another one to his season tally.
Well read by the Valley defense there. They ran trips there to the left side, trying to draw the defense back, setting up a little screen on the right side, but well covered out there, so minimal gain. So now it brings up a big, should be third down, not fourth down.
Trent Jacobs has ice on his left knee. Shoes are still on, so you can take what you want from that observation. 3rd and 25. Cole runs. Now he'll tuck it, and the only thing that he can do, he's down at the 25. And now the Valley sideline says that ball came out, but they were 30 yards away.
I think his knee came down before his shoulders, landed. So, but he gained enough. Now you're at this interesting spot. You're at the 24-yard line. It's well within a field goal attempt because he's made him in warm-ups. I had him marked down to around the 25, 27-yard line was his outside range. So being at the 23, this is well within Warner's range.
He has kicked a 39 on the season. This will be a 41 from the near hash. Kick is up, and it is good. 2 field goals on 2 possessions for the Hawks. They lead by 6.
75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Back-to-back field goals for Ankeny give them a 6-point advantage, 27-21. Werner kicks it off, going to be taken by Mason at the 5. 10, 15, 20, gets by 1 and still on his feet, and he'll be wrestled down at the 31-yard line. So Jeff Brooks, been a couple of drives where it was very well-run football by Ankeny, and they both have stalled out. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, that they get the ball, and Valley just makes some good stops, no doubt. But they didn't shorten that first down play, to get something manageable for second and third, and leaves them in a bind. Penalties, the intentional grounding, what have you. So, but they're playing good this half. So's Valley, no doubt on defense. So we'll see what Valley has on offense here.
Thank you, Jeff. As Tim, you've said, it's been a lot of run until you stop. Hawks are off the line. Provenza audibles. And he escapes one jersey tackle and another jersey tackle. And if it's not for P.J. Westover, the Hawks would be in a lot of trouble tackling tonight. Obviously, the tackle talk didn't quite sink in as much as Coach Nelson probably wanted.
Yeah, he cuts so fast that they had the jersey there. So good tackle by Westover. Otherwise, he'd have been gone for a touchdown.
1st and 10, gain of 14 for the Tigers. So do you think Valley's calling – if Provenza has the defense off, he's just doing that run play?
To me, I think it's a design run play. Looks like he wasn't handed up. He was just a straight, run by Brzenga.
Price on the quick throw, out, escapes one tackler, and another before he gets inside 2. Ankeny Hawk territory inside the 45, almost near the 40. Carson Booth the stop, as well as Halstead was there. And Nolan Morrison.
Bit of a hurry-up offense by Valley here, trying to catch, Ankeny, their base formation.
And then they'll pause and look to the side so the Hawks get a chance to kind of talk things back through. Again, Jacobs not on the field on this possession. Kaiser and Morrison in those linebacker spots. Connor right there in the middle. Provenza takes the snap direct, goes right up, and stopped by Ben Sandvig after a 2 to 3 yard gain to about the 37.
But that read there is causing it. Your corner has to crash, get off his coverage, and make a tackle on the quarterback because the blockers are occupying the linemen and the linebackers. So that is the design run play. It's a straight snap and run, so there's no fake there. So they're seeing something they can do against his defense with those quarterback runs.
7 seconds left here to play, third quarter. Let's see if Valley tries to squeeze one in, and they will not. Hawks get 2 field goals and take a 6-point lead into the fourth quarter here at Ankeny Stadium.
Used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car. So to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. and their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
27-21, Ankeny leads Valley as we go to quarter number 4 from Ankeny Stadium. Jeff Brooks on our sidelines tonight. Tim Halber, I'm Paul Yeager. Thanks for being with us here. 15 minutes to go here on homecoming night. 2022. Ankeny forced Valley to punt on 2 possessions in the third quarter, and they turned them into 6 points. Now, Valley has the ball, 2nd and 6. They start from the Ankeny 37-yard line. Michael Provenza been big in this contest, running the football. He takes the snap. He'll throw. Gets it out to his tight end, Anderson, and a good open field tackle. Reed Johnson at the 25. It'll be 3rd and about 4.
That was tried on the other side to the right side earlier in the third quarter. Now they're going to the left side, where Anderson was a target early on in the first quarter. We haven't seen much from him, but that was a big tackle there. So taking a 2nd and 6 and making a 3rd and 3. So a stop here because they're still about 10 yards away, maybe 15 yards away from field goal range.
3rd and 3. Anderson goes from one end of the formation to the other. Provenza going to run it. He's going to get the first down. He was ready to jump. He got past Diego Jackson and Kaiser. Actually, that's Halstead who came up. And Reed Johnson, but that's enough to move the chains. I tell you, when you need the yards, you either can go Mason or Provenza, but a lot of times here since that first quarter, Tim, it's been the quarterback.
Yeah, there's good blocking up there by Moeller, Jenkins in there, pushing the pile back enough so the quarterback can just make a quick move, and picking up 2 yards to 5 yards is getting as much as he can.
Provenza to work, 1st and 10 from the 27. Price in motion, they get him on the wheel. Caught, and then he is popped way behind the line. Guess who? Ben Sandvig again. A big tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Sandvig does. He came in there like a rocket. You know he has coverage behind him, but that's a great open field tackle and a dangerous runner. Aiden Price is very quick out there, so causing not only the reception but causing a 3-yard loss. So that's big on a first down. So now you're behind the chains. You're going to force. Now I'd watch the running play with Provenza here if he flush him out of the pocket.
Sandvik, we just saw coming out of that replay. He was 15 yards off that line and just came on a dead sprint to get Price. Provenza to run it to the left side. He gets through the line of scrimmage, and P.J. Westover gets bowled over, but he at least holds on to Provenza, prevent him from getting any further. He gets to about the 23. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.5 to go.
The whole offensive line and the tight end does a reach block to the left, just trying to find a seam there, kicking someone out. All Provenza's doing is that looking for something that's got about a 1 yard wide gap. Too many men.
Ankeny's going to call timeout.
Too many defensive players.
Nick Nelson upset at that. Keeps the headset, almost threw it into the ground. I was watching the 2 defensive coaches on there, and they went from a motion of kind of like we're running through the trees, and then all of a sudden you saw them time out because they didn't like something there.
Looked out there and looked like a lot more than 11 guys. I think they're trying to substitute. They got some guys come in. Some guys didn't come off, and they had too many guys. It would have been an automatic. That would have been a penalty. I think it's
at least
too many
5.
men, at least 5, but I think they would prevent the first down to force him.
So Jacobs on the sideline with crutches and ice. Benetham went out, had a text exchange with a couple of people today about football, and they were citing the injuries. This is the time of year when some teams, you kind of find out how deep you are. You get into week 6, and some of those bruises turn into, I got to not play this week.
Yep.
You really find out who can step up, who's the 14th and 15th guy on that team that can contribute.
So down here, I think it's 2 down territory. I think the 20-yard line really is the line they need to get to if they want to attempt a field goal. So if they're not there, I can see them going for 4th down, but they got to make a stop here. I wonder if you have a spy on Provenza.
They're going Price on the direct snap. Price in the quarterback position, takes it, runs to the right side. He's going to get outside, cuts it back, has the first down. He's inside the 15. And again, the direct snap to Aiden Price has been big time for Valley tonight.
Yeah, he did a good job of reading his blocks out there, then making the right cut. Nolan Morris was out there in pursuit. I thought he might be able to catch it from the backside, but couldn't quite get there. So now they're seeing, a chance to move. So once again, they moved the chains. Now they're inside the 15-yard line. Trying to make a drive, only down by 6.
Well, Ankeny had struggled once they got to a certain point. They went away with what got them there. Valley takes time out, and so will we at 9:02 to play here in the game.
Off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Valley down to one timeout with 9:02 to play. Big play, 1st and 10 from the 14. Provenza sends Price in motion. Provenza to throw, gets it to Price on the out. And it's going to be a short gain. Halstead caused the initial contact, and slow to get up is the guy who made the tackle for Ankeny. And he is still down, and I think... I got to find Jeff Brooks. Should be right around there. Jeff, put your hand in there. Is that 33? Let's bring in Jeff Brooks's microphone here.
Yeah,
Devin.
it is.
Yeah, Diego.
Yep, and he's in obvious pain, so holding his ankle. So we'll see what comes of it.
So that'd be the second defensive lineman the Hawks have lost tonight, already losing Benetham. On that far sideline, a look at some stats here. It's been Ankeny with 346 total yards, Valley 231. Passing almost 200 yards for Ankeny, 150 rushing. A lot of rushing coming on these third quarter drives. And then when they decide to pass the ball, Ankeny just not quite as effective in throwing it, Tim.
No, they tried on first down. If you don't make it the first down, now you're behind the chains quickly, and you're deep in the territory. You want to keep the defensive pressure. If you can get into a 3rd and short and you're close to your goal line, then it opens up your playbook a lot more. So I think it took the playbook out of their hands a couple times. So we'll see. But they haven't had the ball back here, and now we'll see what happens here with this defensive stand by Ankeny. Can they keep them out of the end zone, maybe only forcing a field goal here? They may have had to spy on Provenga. I think they have to have some kind of defensive play call to keep them contained.
Valley, 79 yards passing, 152 rushing. They maybe don't have a ton of stats. And that's one thing I noticed about Valley getting ready this week, where it's just not a ton of stats, but they've gotten points. You don't need to have big, gaudy stats to be good.
They're very efficient and had a couple great drives, had some short field there, so they've taken advantage of that when they've gotten close.
And now Jackson is favoring his left side as his right foot is a challenge. Ankeny coming up next week. They'll be at Des Moines North. Then they'll be home for the regular season closer with Waukee Northwest. And then at Des Moines Lincoln. 3 games where maybe Ankeny's not quite pressed like they have been against, say, a Southeast Polk or a Dowling. Although Des Moines North has had a great campaign this year, Waukee Northwest keeps trying to put together a good run, and then close with Lincoln, who's kind of struggled a little bit this year. But that's about the only bright light you can see if you have a couple of big injuries here to some of your defensive linemen.
Yeah, some of your experienced players have been playing it during the game. getting familiar with the speed of the game, so a new person coming in is going to have to adapt to that, very quickly.
It's Ryan Mayer and Andrew Haase now on that defensive line for Ankeny. That's a direct snap to Price, and Kaiser starts the congestion. Ryan Mayer helps finish it. Also in there, Donnie Brown straight.
So gets it to a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 2. I'm going to say it's been a very clean game. I have not seen a lot of flags here thrown, tonight. So from both sides, very clean game.
3rd and 2. Ball on the 6. Provenza going under center. Handoff Mason, and he is stopped for a moment by Kaiser. Connor was rushing it through.
Odd formation, power formation, having Mason as the up guy as the fullback and putting Price back there where he's unfamiliar. He stutter step. Kaiser coming in there, blowing it up, knocking it back for a loss. Definitely is 4th and 9. Are they going to bring the field goal unit on? Looks like they are.
Connor Kaiser, what a play, bud. Let's watch it again here real quick before the field goal. Tight formation. Kaiser just came right through, and I don't think he expected to get that clean of a look. This will be a 30-yard field goal for Dawson Stein. The kick is up. It's long enough, and it is good. So the Tigers cut the deficit to 3 with 6:59 to play.
Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Field goal from Valley pulls it within 3, 27-24, 6:59 to play, and a touchback coming. All right, Jeff Brooks, you got any tension building on that sideline, or is it just another fun night at the ballpark?
No, I was just talking to one of the referees down here, commenting on how well played of a game this has been for both teams, really. First half was a lot of offense. Defenses have really settled in, especially down here in the red zone and inside the 10-yard line, holding teams to field goals in the second half. It's a pretty impressive turnaround for the defenses. So I think it's a battle of wills here with the 7 minutes to go, 6:59 for both teams. So should be fun ending.
Valley drive goes 11 plays, 56 yards, takes 6.5 off the clock, and only nets 3 points on a Stein 30-yard field goal. Jason Williams gets the call. Cuts back, gets about to the 24.5.
Looks like he was dead in the water out there, but took it inside, got what he could, but still got 3 yards, which is helpful. So you don't have to gain a lot, but getting into a 3rd and short is the key in this drive.
Ankeny's had a couple of drives of 4 and 5 minutes. If they could put that together right now and score more than a field goal, it might just put this game away. J-Mo goes in motion. Cole throws out to Patton on the wheel route. Caught at the 20. Patton goes down at the 30. That is right at the first down marker.
You should have enough by yard, but also it's important. He sat down in bounds, so when they set the chains, the clock's going to go. So we're going to see Ankeny take as much time off the clock as they can.
I was going with, you're going there. I was also thinking the contact. He did the Tyreek Hill. Used to play for the Chiefs, now for the smaller guy would go down and not take that hit. I mean, the Hawks have had some tough hits here tonight. as the work goes on Diego. He is. They have put a splint of sorts on that right ankle. Williams, the call up the gut, hand down drill, and if he doesn't stumble, and tackle by Hutchinson just kind of kept him down. Big play, big pickup, as Tim would say, to stay ahead of the chains.
Yeah, I think that was, I think it was a Summerfield. I'm trying to think of the big tight end, but he lined up there as a slot and had a big inside block like another guard, freeing Williams there to take it up there and picking up 6-7 yards.
Second down for Cole with time, throws it. Patton has a step on the guy. Comes back and makes the grab at the 28-yard line.
That's the one they missed down here in the second quarter that you mentioned. They worked on practice, but here it works perfectly at that time. Patton going up over the shoulder. The defensive back can't get a hand on it. Catches it right on the sideline, the picket fence.
I watched this play, I'm going to say 8 times in practice on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They worked that thing over and trying to get that route specific. I think the coaches saw something that was there. Again, Tim, you've said it all night. Valley has gone single coverage on Patton. They did it again there, and he burned him for 34 yards. They go back underneath Williams, and Jason's going to get inside the 25, but not much more than that on first down.
But the corner's giving him too much between him and the sideline where he has a chance to make a move back, fading back out to where that ball is just, it's like dropping it in a bucket. So it's a perfect throw by J.J. Cole. So like Coach said, this is probably the best I've seen him pass this year where he's been on and on target.
Jared Fisher, the tackle for Valley. Clock moving 4:14 here in the contest. Hawks by 3 and marching. Williams is behind Cole in the backfield. Jason gets the call. Gets to the outside, now cuts it back in and runs into 5 white jerseys. And the man with his hands on the most was Tristan Irvin, who they didn't think was going to play tonight. Wouldn't be the first time a coach has told me a guy's not going to play and a guy does.
He got better at halftime.
Amen, it's a miracle.
But watching here, I thought that play was going to be a no gain. Look there, he's gained 4 yards. It's a 3rd and 2, so now he can dial it up. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Cole has run on these plays. But Williams is a great straight-ahead runner.
They bring in Summerfeld into that fullback position to the right of Cole. They go Williams underneath. Williams has the first down, still on his feet inside the 15. He got behind Joe Kingston and Kruger, and that is an Ankeny Hawk first down.
Nothing better than your tight ends that can block. Kruger getting out there, Summerfield get out there. And what did it do? Williams ran right up behind him, found that, got into the first down. The first down, and the clock is running at 2:56. And then with the one timeout, this is definitely an advantage. So Ankeny's going to milk this out and just keep running the ball. They still can get a first down if they get down to inside the 5.
Becomes a possession game here. Possess the ball, possess and burn that clock. 2:37. Cole waits to the 2-second mark and hikes it. Gives it back to Williams. Cuts it to the left side. Now to the middle. Still on his feet inside the 5. Still churning his legs. And he'll get there very, very close to the first down. I think he's going to have it. There's the big guy, B-Roth, and also Montevice.
Yes, I think he says that is Dorfer in there also. I'm trying to look to see the numbers of the guy because they're all on the bottom of the pile, so it's hard to tell who these big guys are. But making some great blocks out there, and that was 11-yard gain running up the middle against it's been a very stout Valley defense.
And it's been a defense that now just kind of hands on hips. They're breathing hard under 2 minutes to play. If Hawks can score a touchdown here, that might just put this one away. Cole goes to work. Gives it to the man who's gotten every other handoff tonight, Jason Williams. Ball came out.
Ball came out with the signal.
But not before the touchdown was scored. Jason Williams, 4-yard score for the Hawks.
Williams finished it off there on that drive. He had some great runs. And we start talking about, we got to think of a guy that could be the player of the game. I'm thinking that Jason Williams in this fourth quarter was the engine that they lined up behind, and he had some great runs up the middle.
Well, did you see the block there by Sommerfeld and also Jack Dorfler? Dorfler there helped lead the way. Follow me to the end zone. Follow me to freedom, as Charlie Steiner would say. The extra point is up and good. Ankeny opens up a 10-point advantage with $1:47 to play.
When did strength become an ego thing? Strength is about more than you. It's about grit, work ethic, carrying your own weight, and still rising to new challenges, whether or not they happen during regular business hours. Because even for the strongest, there are no guarantees. But for those who wake up with the streetlights to make sure the world keeps moving, Western makes one promise: more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Jason Williams has gone over the century mark rushing. 20 carries tonight, 108 yards. Hawks now up 34-24. Short kick taken at the 15 or 25 and then quickly downed is Quentin Loeb. Loeb, the backup quarterback. His dad is on the staff. Thad, who was on the staff a few years ago, took some time off, came back. Thad Loeb, I believe, Tim. Another one of those former Wartburg football players.
Yes, they're everywhere.
All right, Jeff Brooks, sorry. I know you have to put up with this Wartburg stuff all the time, but what do you think, Jeff? What's Valley? You know, it's not over yet, but she's warming up on the sideline.
Yeah, Wartburg's pretty close to you and I, so I'm good with it. Yeah, no, they just need they kind of need a miracle here, getting field goal range and then maybe an onside kick or something, but seen crazier things in high school football, so. Yeah, I agree with some of you guys' points. Williams has been great. Cole's been great.
Ooh, that's going to be 15. No? Ooh, that came a little late. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
That's all right. Kaiser on defense, I would think. Is that what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, think of all the fill-in he had to do when these guys around him have gone down.
Absolutely. Mom and Dad are great people, you know.
Dad, a former Hawk?
Yep, and Mom works at Southeast Polk as a school counselor, so good people there. So, yeah, that'd be a good pick.
Tell him I taught him all his moves, nothing of his father's business.
I'll do that.
I'm sure Connor will gladly tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jeff. We'll check in with you in a little bit. A minute 14. Valley moving the football here. They're all the way up to the 45, and this is not a good scene here, Tim, on this sideline. Diego Jackson, guy after guy, is coming up talking to him. I don't know the severity of that injury, but I don't like the way the body language is from him and his teammates on Diego.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's the break, it's a tendon. You just don't know what the injury could be. I don't want to speculate on those. Definitely an ankle sprain.
Jeremiah Peters is in the game there on the defensive end. Long throw downfield, trying to find Zay Robinson. Incomplete.
First long pass I've seen prevents it. He hasn't thrown deep much this whole second half. It's been little flares, little square outs, so now the pressure's on him, but then, the defense can tee off because they know what he wants to do, so they're bringing in fresh players now to stop it. So keeping everything in front of you. If you're a defense, give them some cushion, but keep everything in front of you and make the open field tackle because the clock will run.
Do you just get the first down here, or do you go big? 3rd and 2, we'll find out.
First down will stop the clock.
For just a moment. Westover better get off the ball. He's over the center. Provenza with time. Now flushed. Here comes Booth. Here comes Donnie Brown straight, the safety. It is taken on the safety valve by Darius Mason. He gets across the 45, near the 40, and that'll be a first down. But clock now under a minute.
A good job by the defense there, holding their ground, not letting him, I think that was Nolan Morrison, not letting him fake him out, causing the quarterback to go backwards. So even though he completed it, it took some time off the clock and not letting the quarterback take off and run.
2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left for Provenza. What magic potion he has. He gets it across right there in the middle of the field. It's caught by Robinson and then quickly down by Patton and Westover. Also in the neighborhood was Bailey, who had that big sack right at the end of the first half. 51 seconds to play. Timeout Valley. That is their final game stoppage of this contest. That has gone final now. Centennial holds on for a 5-point win against Urbandale at Frericks Field, 28-23. So we will have the Jaguars coming off of a win next week.
They have snuck in. That would put them at, 3-3? Is that correct?
Who, Centennial?
Centennial.
No, they've only lost
2.
2, so that makes them.
They're 0-2 to start the season.
0-2, and then they have just knocked off one good game after another.
And some of the rankings have them cracking the top 10 or at number 10, number 9. So they've played a tough schedule. They're getting better. They're learning a lot about themselves as the season goes on.
And you could say that they were a play or two away from beating both Indianola and this Ankeny Hawk team, which is up by 10 right now. Provenza on second down. Looks downfield. Here comes some heat. And Provenza is going to go down. Donnie Brown straight ended that chance. It'll be 4th down.
Way to keep continued pursuit. Keeping your head down there, not keeping them in front of you. That's a great open field tackle.
And Provenza has to stop the clock. And so now this will be pretty much the last chance Valley has. It'll be 4th and 9 from the 39-yard line. 27 seconds left in the game.
Credit to that secondary because nothing was open. They ran everybody deep. Provenza's down there looking to find somebody open. There's nothing there, so he had to scramble a little bit. But then the defensive players continue their pursuit. Brown did a nice job in getting the sack.
Provenza and company. Down by 10. Michael. Here comes some heat. Throws it down the middle of the field. A man's there. It's nearly caught by Price. Broken up. Bailey was there. Reed Johnson, P.J. Westover, and the Ankeny Hawks are a knee away from a W.
Yeah, the coach's favorite formation is that victory formation to go there. It's a hard-fought game. We're sitting there going 21-21.5. It's just a barn burner. We're going to have, 40-some points by either side. The second half, the defense showed up.
Reed Johnson on the replay there busted that play up. And that will do it. One knee from Cole. And this game is 9 seconds from being final. Valley will go back to 500. They've lost now to Southeast Polk, Urbandale, and now Ankeny, 34-24. Ankeny improves to 5-1. They avenge the regular season loss. And again, Tim, we moved fast. It's barely 9:15.
I know that first half flew by. Because it was just each team had a possession and the quarter was over. So it was give Valley some credit. They threw some haymakers at Ankeny High tonight. That they had to rebound and regroup and compete with them.
We will have post-game here. We got a couple of names we're throwing around. You'll see who we pick in the post-game interview as the Hawks, those that can walk, some on crutches, others are going through, and as handshakes happen, I see Diego Jackson getting a visit. We'll step away. Post-game show right after this.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade. With the features the pros demand.
custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Ankeny wins 34-24. Right behind that graphic is our Jeff Brooks with a player who had 20 carries, 108 yards. And, Jeff, they were huge in the final drive.
Yeah, hey, here with Jason. Jason, 20 carries, 108. We just talked about it a little bit. 20 carries, that's good, man. 108, that's awesome. What are you thinking tonight?
We got the run game going in the second half, and it felt pretty good. We got to finish strong, knock some of the clock off, and get some points up late.
Coach talked to you at halftime about getting that run game going a little bit?
Yeah, he just told me to keep my head up and keep pounding the ball, and when I do get it, because my chance was going to come, just to make the most of it, and I did tonight.
Perfect. So a couple of games here coming up, you know. What do you think the end of the season here? What you guys' plans?
The end of the season, we plan to keep momentum going, keep things going strong, and just finish the season strong and keep improving on some of the mental areas we had, and yeah.
What do you think of the offensive line?
Oh, we did good tonight. I'm proud of them.
All right.
Thank them.
You get them a good thanks in there, all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jason Williams with our Jeff Brooks. We have one more interview here. We have to fight off Dan Holm and the Ankeny Fanatic. And by the way, if you want to follow along with anything Centennial or Ankeny related, Dan Holm, theankenyfanatic.com. Ankeny wins 34-24, Tim, and J.J. Cole was a big reason. Coach talked about him at half. We're going to talk to him here in the postgame show. He's standing by with Jeff Brooks.
Hey, J.J., great game tonight. You guys, team effort. So first half you threw for a lot of yards that first half. Second half, mostly runs. What do you think of the balanced attack that whole game?
Yeah, at the end of the day, however, we got to get points on the board. We're going to do that. If we have to run for a lot of yards or pass for a lot of yards, we're going to do either way.
So I saw a lot of nice passes that you had. It looked like your most complete game of the season that I've seen. Did you just have a good feeling tonight? Receivers getting open, have a good game plan? What was going on?
Yeah, no, honestly, our coaches do a great job every week of getting us a good game plan. And tonight, honestly, hitting a couple deep balls to JMO definitely helped. On our offensive line, I felt like they did a great job giving me time, and the run game was going well. And, tonight we were just kind of all clicking. So it was very fun to be a part of.
All right, you go in and congratulate those offensive linemen because they did it for you. All right, have a good year.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much with J.J. Cole tonight. Tim, Valley finished with 261 yards of offense, a great first half, but second half's a different story.
Yeah, when they came out, they had the ball in the first half. They went 3 and out 2 times in a row, took the momentum out, and that's where Ankeny gained control of the game. Got down there, didn't get touchdowns, but got field goals to put the pressure on them and control the ball pretty much. So not a lot of yards for Valley. They were very efficient with it, but they couldn't move the ball as much in the second half. Plus, Provenza didn't have the running room he had in the first half.
And do you attribute that to anything? I mean, we were discussing who to talk to here in the post-game show. I mean, Ankeny's defense, I'm sitting there, I was just kind of, while you were talking, I was looking at Diego Jackson. I mean, that does not look like an injury he comes back from next week.
No.
I don't know the severity. We'll find out. We'll have the Hawks here in 2 weeks. Diego had a challenge by the coaches early in the season. He had changed his game. This just gives another opportunity. They get Donnie Brown straight back. They're going to need another guy. They just have to find out, and it's going to be an interesting time at practice.
Yeah, when they bring the card out, that's not a good sign. But no, I thought the defense, I think they picked up some keys where the quarterback was. He had a better rush, had better lane contain. I thought they tackled better the second half, a lot better the second half than they did the first half, which created more of a third down, second and long, for Valley that kept it under contain. And then, like I said, Provenza didn't have the running lanes. He couldn't break tackles like he did in the first half.
Valley Observer told me we have to be perfect tonight and not execute. Ankeny could take chances. It kind of looked like Ankeny took some chances tonight, and it worked. Valley, a couple things. Hey, a couple shout-outs before we go to the Booth family as well as the Bornis families that were watching tonight. Appreciate it for both sides. That's it. We got Centennial next week there, buddy.
Yeah, we do. We'll do it again. It's a bit. Now it's football weather. It feels a little cool out. This is great fall.
Still wearing shorts, though. You're a brave man.
Yeah.
Hawks win by 10 here on Homecoming 2022 for all of us here at CISN. That will do it. Thank you for taking us along with you tonight, and we'll see you next week here on CISN.